Hello, everybody. How we doing
Howdy,
tonight?
howdy.
So we were getting into some deep conversations in the background, and then I was like, everybody's in the chat. We got to jump in here and say hi to everybody. So, hi Tiffany, hi Rocco, hi West Haven, Elaine. Thank you everybody for stopping. We all appreciate it. And yeah, we're just doing the regular Peña Perspective, our regular Thursday show. How's your week been?
It's been kind of rough, actually. At this particular moment, there's particular moments everybody's fine. Everybody's in their rooms and they're tranquil. However, this afternoon there were gas lines. There were people lined up for about a quarter mile, waiting to get into the gas station because there's a trucker strike and Hola Maria, hola Jorge. There's a trucker strike, and so everything's shut down. It went up on the 7th, like we told you when Junior was on Thursday night. So, Elaine, huh?
Elaine raid?
Raid? Yeah, but I didn't get the raid thing.
I didn't either. Maybe she's raiding the channel. Oh, Angel made it by. Hey, Angel. How's it going?
Angel's Army. Cool. Howdy. So, yeah, there's cool. It depends. Texas is a big state. But then again, we're not going to dox anybody, so whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting back to Texas is cool.
Well, getting back to your week. What's been going
on? Well, I've got a lot more work actually. Since we had the holiday, they sent me a bunch of stuff on Friday, which I usually work on the weekends, and they assumed that I'd work over the holidays as well. But this particular holiday, I kind of was anxious about the holiday itself because there's lots of things coming up and everything else. So all the stuff that I was supposed to do over the weekend, I ended up doing the majority of it yesterday, and I had stuff that I have to do today. So yeah, things are going. Gas prices are going through the freaking roof. And I'm just waiting for the next shoe to fall. Hey, Tiffany. Now, I'm from Dallas, or at least I spent a good portion in Dallas. That's where I considered home.
Which is why you like to mention how big Texas is. It's your home. It's your home state.
It is. I mean, I grew up in Oklahoma, but you're Okies. That's another story. Oklahoma's a tough state. And things were going well when we were living in basically my dad was living off of Mexico and we were on the farm in Oklahoma. So it was okay. Connecticut is freaking awesome. I've got some friends up in Connecticut. And Oklahoma was a really big difference from Mexico City. So you had the 20 million people in Mexico City and you had 12,000 people in Guthrie, Oklahoma. So you went from the hustle bustle to the really quiet, tranquil type thing. Absolutely, Terry. Hopefully the world will be out of lockdown and World War III will have ended and, we'll just avoid the toxic areas of the planet and sure, come down here because nobody's throwing nukes at Brazil. There's no reason to. So, hey, love production. All right, Boston in the house. All right, cool. We got
from Boston.
Boston.
I don't know if you've heard the John Adams commercials. They're absolutely hilarious. It's some guy from with a Boston accent, and he goes, "It's your cousin from Boston," and they just constantly do a little Boston accent.
Spent some time in Cambridge. Absolutely love Boston. That was a city that I wanted to spend a lot of time in. I just didn't have the money to actually live in Boston because that place is fucking expensive. Especially the reasons why I was going to go to Boston. Yeah, that was really expensive. And I didn't want to have the mortgage at 22 and then have to get another mortgage. So
Oh, we're all over the planet tonight. Angel's from Arizona. We got Arizona in the house as well.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I so want to pick Angel's brain.
Okay, so I got to give you a little heads up on Angel. So the other night, Angel went on, and I totally respected it. It was him putting his foot down about how he feels, and that's what I really did want to hear it from him. But I knew he was on a platform where he couldn't talk about that thing, and it was super interesting to hear his perspective because I didn't get that before. And he's got some strong feelings that you'd probably like to hear.
I would probably most love to hear because the truth is coming out and it will be out on Monday. They were talking about it today, but no, we're not going to get into that topic because I like your channel and I want to be here as much as possible. Too bad the truth is not allowed. And we were also talking about a topic before we got onto YouTube.
Angel's in the house. All right, Angel. No pandemic talk. Just FYI.
Exactly. Even exactly. We were.
Hey, Angel, how we doing?
Doing well. Love it here.
Army. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Cool. So what's up tonight?
Not much. I went to my local Sprint / T-Mobile store to try to upgrade my phone, but they don't have the phone that I'm looking to get in stock, and I either would have to wait till they get in stock or do it Viva online.
So one of the things, Jake, you said we can't talk about pandemics, but can we talk about Arizona? Technically, it's in the news.
I mean, there's a lot of politics. There's a lot of politics going on in Arizona right now that you can talk about.
I could talk about the attorney general's comments or the senator's comments or a couple of representatives.
The recount, maybe? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on in Arizona.
No, it's not a recount. It's an audit. It's a forensic
audit. A real audit.
And that's one of the things that that Miss Rogers was talking about. There were 4 points that had to, be done throughout anything. First of them being an audit, a real forensic audit, and the last of those being legislative change to make sure that this shit doesn't happen again. And then you've got the attorney general saying, it's become evident that 2020 isn't necessarily just a problem. This goes way, way back.
Oh yeah, no, and I think we've had this. I think this same problems has been in politics for a long time.
Yeah, the problem is, what do you do when you find out about it? What do you do when you find out somebody's been robbing the bank?
Have you noticed anything fishy going on over there? Angel?
Yeah.
Have you noticed anything fishy?
Here in Arizona, technically, no, but I've been hearing a lot about the audit recount thing. And in regard to other stuff, there really hasn't been much. I know that in California, they're going to be doing the recall election next week.
Yeah, that's not going to be rigged. If Gavin didn't, oh man. That's a whole nother situation. The polls say that. I mean, God, does anybody tell the truth anymore?
Hi.
West Haven.
So we were all there. It'd be the Brady Bunch right now if my dad's microphone would have been working.
Yeah. So that was the original plan. We were gonna actually have the original De La Peña on the podcast with his son doing a podcast, but little audio trouble before we started.
Yeah.
Hi, hi, Elaine. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Is this gonna be a November issue?
I don't know. Well, where I'm at now, we're having our electoral race here now in West Haven for mayor. They're just starting it, starting it now. Yeah.
In Connecticut?
Yes. And no. Well, certain areas, districts, like where I live in West Haven, for mayor, Democrat for mayor, they're just starting that now. Yeah. Like technically now, I'm trying to say like a pre thing, I guess they say. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know that person?
I heard of the person. I don't know him that well. but I'm trying to before I make my decision. I'm like, I want to know a little more about him first. But see, I'm
Good.
kind of like,
first thing
I'm
you do is
independent.
don't vote Democrat.
No, don't do that. The first thing you do is you look into it like you are. Look into what the person has and what they're offering. Don't vote down any party lines.
No, see, I'm independent.
You're absolutely right there. However, one of the things that needs to be mentioned, we need to get back to the local level.
Right.
I mean, that's where people have been abusing this, because they go down to the local level, which is a lot cheaper to influence people at the local level. And at the local level, then you get a reach higher up. And if you can coordinate all of those diverse local levels, then you've got control over the state, and the state goes, well, I can't do anything. Well, and therein lies our mandates and the fact that nobody has any freedoms anymore. Right. We got to take them back by taking back the local level.
Right. So what's he in Connecticut here? Our governor, it has mandates. He said they have executive powers here until September 30th. He has until September 30th. So anything after that, they're going to vote, see if they extend it a little bit longer.
Yeah, but see, they can't do something that's unconstitutional and extend it a little longer. No. For example, there have been people that say, look, if somebody, like my wife has been harassed and intimidated in order to do what she doesn't want, what I don't want her to do. And so she uses me as an excuse because she doesn't want to get into a personal fight with me.
Okay.
However, many people have actually said, don't quit, make them fire you. Why? Because if you quit, then you quit of your own volition. If they fire you for that reason, you can sue them because they have no reason. They cannot do that. I mean, there are many
and to be quite honest, if my job had recently just fired me, I can sue them because they are forcing every employer where I work at to wear a freaking mask.
I noticed recently that they're having a lot of issues with nurses. That seems to be the public thing now because, and West Haven, you're a nurse. I'm a
home health aide. I'm kind of like down. I'm down the totem pole.
Well, I used to work for
less stress.
DHS, which is the Department of Healthcare Services in my area. Yeah. And I was an at-home care provider, and they're mandatorily making this a thing for healthcare providers. Yeah. And that's where they're actually losing people. It's not that
why would they make people don't want to work.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I have 4 different agencies I work for. One of them inboxed all of us like a text blast that they have a lot of cases, right? But a lot of the patients now, they want us to be vaccinated, and a lot of the girls and the guys, a lot of them, they don't want to. They're not taking cases because they don't want to get vaccinated. They don't want the shot.
But see, for me, that word, please, Elaine.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful with that word.
No, there was one specific hospital that I know of that 150 people left or were fired.
Oh, okay.
One or the other. I mean, if those are the numbers, but if that's the numbers you're getting from one building, I could understand how you'd be short-handed in any kind of medical facility.
Yeah, but see, what me is,
in the end, it's our country.
Right.
We're the ones who say it's our world.
Well,
we're the ones who tell them what to do, not the other way around.
Right. But Peña, with me personally, I don't want to say the word, but I had to get that thing because I have an underlying condition, unfortunately for me.
Which makes sense. And I understand
Everyone has
people that want to get it. It makes total sense to me. I just think it's strange when you mandate it on people that don't. I mean, for the person that works from home and doesn't leave their house, I don't necessarily think it's part of their life.
Let me ask you guys this. If I was president and I were to put a suicide mandate, what would you think of that?
We can't talk about that word on YouTube.
Yeah,
especially with what we're talking about.
The abstaining thing.
Yeah, the S word. That word is not allowed on YouTube.
What?
Yeah. And in most realities, however, he's trying to make a point, and I
understand, and I totally understand the point he's making.
Okay, he just needs to watch his code words.
Yeah,
remember, we try and work in code words.
I'm trying to tiptoe through this topic as best as possible.
Because I already got Jacob knocked down for a week because I run my mouth too much, and you guys haven't noticed that, right? So
see that, you know what? You know what? Can I say something about that too? About YouTube now? Let me tell you something. I've been on YouTube for like off and on for like 10, 11 years. I had one channel that I got rid of, but I had two or three. This main one I just came back recently to YouTube, and it's like we never back then. It was like you could say whatever you want. They never really censored you. It's like you can't. It's like they want us to be content creators. They want us to talk about our experiences, about what we feel and how we feel about things. But yet I think it's like a different group. What do they call it? Right wing that are stopping it. I believe it's what it's called.
Huh? No. What happens is that they want us to build up audience, and with that you have to do.
I think what's generally happening though is a private business is flexing their rights as a private business, right. And they're allowed to allow whatever they want on their platform as long as you click the check mark and agree to it, which I totally understand. I support their right to do that. I think the guidelines need to be laid out more specific.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You need to know. You need to know what the rules are.
The Bill of Rights doesn't just govern governments. It was applied to governments because those were the most powerful entities back at that time. In fact, the government was placed in so it could limit the power of a king. Okay. However, today corporations are more powerful than governments.
Right.
So, in that case, it can be really problematic because they think that they own their little piece of territory. They can do whatever they want. When you get that much power, no, human rights must be respected no matter fucking what. Yeah. Government is there to protect our rights from people who would abuse them.
Yeah.
And people.
Meanwhile, sides are being
years ago. They abused it, and we had the government step in to stop that abuse. That's where antitrust came in, and all that kind of stuff. Sorry, Jake, I butted in.
Oh no, you're fine. I was just gonna say, but these are the abuses that are going to go on. There has to be a balance in it. But I also wanted to let you know your dad made it on the iPad.
All right, so if you want,
he's in the chat with us.
Okay, so if you want to bring him in, that would be cool.
He's not in the link yet. If he can come up and get his audio on, I'd be happy to have him on.
Okay. But anyway, we're still talking about this, and but he's in the chat. I sent him the link to the video so he can be following along and that sort of stuff and know what's going on.
April, I can't give you a wrench from my location. I have to be in the YouTube chat, and it's too much at the moment.
He's like, oh, that's what the wrench is about.
Yeah. Well, when they start putting up the 18s, that's a different story. But
I prefer 17 myself.
Yeah.
I really like 17. I'm hoping it's all right. Supposedly,
I feel like the biggest problem, Rocco, is that we expect the government to protect us from ourselves.
Yeah.
And I really have more of a liberal mindset where I don't a libertarian mindset, not liberal. I don't really like that word.
Government involved in my life at all. Period.
Yeah, I want them to offer services, and I want them to offer, the police, the fire department, the things that we need in society that everybody can agree upon. But I don't want, just like anybody else, I don't want my money going to things I don't want.
Things that government isn't doing today, but yet government decides to do many things that they shouldn't be fucking doing at all, like sticking their nose into everybody's freaking business and trying to tell everybody what to do.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and joining in. We had up to, 10 people watching. That was fun. I appreciate it, everybody.
Yep. I have a question. Can we talk about that thing? I don't know if are we allowed to talk about the thing in the middle? I don't want to say that. In the Middle East?
Over there. Are we going to talk about the country we gave up, or the other countries that are going to swoop in?
Well,
as long as you're talking about how our president is doing such a good job over there, I assume. I'm not going to be allowed on YouTube.
Look, I'm not going to be yanking his fucking chain, especially when his son is under indictment.
Right.
Okay.
I know. Finally, trust me. This is a dangerous road.
I know that.
That's why I said unless you're licking boots. Unless you're licking boots.
No, what I'm saying is but there was a deadline. and it was August 31st. And you see how quickly they kind of left. I don't know why they just didn't. My thing was this: if they should extend a little bit longer to get anybody that was there, says anyone that was there.
So I'll recommend people what should have happened. If you get a chance, go on to the live stream that Steven Crowder did today on Louder with Crowder. He had Donald Trump Jr. He had Donald Trump Jr. on, and he was asked this specific question: what would Donald have done if the policies that he had put in place at the time were left in? And that'll give you a better idea of what the contrary.
If one person was hurt, everything would be wiped off the table, and boom. You know, there were
Mud Rabbit. I'm so sorry. I just noticed. Hey, Mud Rabbit.
Hey, Mud Rabbit.
Hey, Mud Rabbit.
She was on my show last week with when my dad. Hey, Mud Rabbit. My dad's in the chat as well, so you might be able to.
Hello, Dad.
Oh yeah, she already said hi to him. She's on it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's Mud Rabbit's on it.
Remember, fastest fingers in the east.
Fingers in the west. Mud Rabbit's just too awesome.
She's in the east. Come on, east.
Depends on what you consider. Well, yeah, sure. She's down in the lower panhandle.
She's in the east of her continent. Farthest east.
We're on the Western Hemisphere. So I could use that terminology if I want. We're in the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah.
Because maybe there's faster fingers in China. I don't know. I'm sure because you got a lot of freaking hackers getting onto our shit in China. So, but yeah, it's an old saying anyway. But
there's hackers getting on our shit. China is an old saying.
Yeah.
Sorry, the fastest fingers in the West.
Peña, I just hit your bell for your channel.
Oh, thank you very much. Now I just need to actually publish something.
Okay, just want to let you know.
I'm trying to motivate him to do a little bit more, but he did a few. You did a few English ones recently. I like that.
Okay.
You got to spread your. Most of them are in Portuguese, so it's a little hard for my subscribers to.
Well, I'm Greek and I'm Greek and Italian.
There you go.
Well, that's always fun.
Yes.
I enjoyed Italian. Italy was fun.
Yeah.
The thing is that you said they were in Portuguese because those were questions some of my football players were curious about me expounding on. And so I ended up doing little episodes about the little questions that they asked me. I wanted to focus on the things for my book, which is explaining how matter becomes, what energy is, what matter is, and how that affects everything else. And so I'm going through chemistry and biology, and that's why the different things that the media doesn't want us to know about work, because they work on the pH levels of your blood, which is a carrier of energy and everything else. So It translates all the way through because we already know what the resonances of societal interactions and the stressors of, the different hormones of cortisol and everything else, of stress and everything else, what it actually does to our body. And the interactions, psychological interactions that we have. And then you get into the spiritual, because in the end, you start with the physics of figuring out what matter is, and you go to the spiritual going, look, God's there. He made all this. We figured it out now. We do what he wants us to do, which is love. It's in that resonance, in that healing resonance of everything. I don't know if anybody's seen the med beds. I saw the videos on the med beds.
Careful.
Not fictitious. The actual guy using them. It was freaking awesome. They're finally stringing them out to the public. This is freaking awesome. And the fusion reactor that's supposed to be coming online.
I heard something like that. Something about some fusion.
The fusion reactor. The fusion reactor is pretty active. We actually have been doing a lot with that.
And but they got a semiconductor which actually reduces by a factor of 1,000 the energy consumption of this, because before they were using like copper. It was 2,300 watts per whatever cycle, and they used this superconductor, and it ended up being like 30 watts for the generation of the same thing. So you're reducing your energy use, which means you expand the possibility, and it's not radioactive because it's not fission. You're not breaking things up and making them more unstable. You're actually joining two things. You're using what the sun does, but you need to have a magnetic field to contain all that energy, which tells us that, wow, the magnetic fields can actually exert more pressure than what gravity would, because a sun has to be huge to do what they're doing there in the middle of this magnetic core. And so we go all kinds of down rabbit holes. But the 17th letter told us that these things were possible and everything else. There's all kinds of prophecies coming on.
It's like the sun. It's like the sun. Sun is full of energy, and we get our energy from there and light and everything, right? Something like that.
Where does the sun get its energy from? How does the sun
from the material it burns off?
The materials it burns off, yeah.
It's technically not burning them yet. Others will burn. The heat does. What it does, it's fusion. Well, you get all this hydrogen, which hydrogen is just basically a proton flying around.
Well, but that's what we were talking about before, Mr. Peña, is that we were talking about they are estimating what the actual core of the sun is and how long it will actually burn and how much life it actually has left based on the density of it and what the material is in the density. Yes, it's fusion that is, the outcome, but
because it requires this massive amount to create the gravity to compress these things together to where they'll finally go, oh, wait, hi, how you doing? I didn't want to be next to you, but sure, let's make helium. Right. So hydrogen makes helium, and all kinds of energy is expanded in that love. And they expand the size and volume because they're pushing out against that wall that's crushing them all down. It's basically like obviously it's a pre-black hole. Black holes are stars that no longer have that strength to maintain the reactions, keeping everything aloft, and everything just caves in. If we can do the thing that happens in the center of a star on our planet without destroying the planet within a magnetic field, which is what they're doing, freaking awesome. The amount of energy that goes well beyond solar, and that can actually stabilize. You can use water, air, in order to produce energy for the entire population. If we've got the medveds and we've got simple medications that can cure complicated things, I mean, if we can actually regulate the pH levels in our body, get our vitamins in and live healthy lifestyles instead of being fat, lazy slobs, if we do exercise, we eat well, and we take care of our pH levels and everything else, there is another level of life that we are entitled to, which has been taken from us because of the programming that keeps us in this situation of self-destruction.
Like a cycle. It keeps going and going.
Absolutely. You start going around in circles until you go deeper, deeper, deeper. You're just drilling into the dirt. You're making the hole deeper instead of finding a way out of the hole.
Right.
But that's
Angel, are you sleeping over there on us?
No.
All right.
He's listening.
I love you, Jacob, my man.
I love your laugh. Give me one more.
Oh, goddamn.
But Jacob, I'm gonna have to jump off because I gotta go someplace. Yeah.
Oh, no, you're fine. I appreciate you jumping on, Elaine. It was nice seeing you.
Notified on all the stuff that's going on up there because we're in some perilous times right now. We need to know what's going on everywhere. I mean, we've got Connecticut, Arizona, Texas, Florida.
I was happy to be up here. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Payne. It was an honor to meet you. Thanks for having me. Bye, Angel. Bye, guys. Love you. I'll be in the chat. I'll see y'all later. Bye.
All right.
See ya.
I still can't get over the fact that you thought I was sleeping on your stream there.
Yeah, you never know. You were silent for so long. I had to double check on you.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. If you did it, you heard me go, woo!
That is a bizarre laugh.
I love it. Gets me every time. If that laugh doesn't make you smile, I don't know what does. That's joy. That's the sound of joy.
Love it. Absolutely. So talk to us, Angel's Army. You're in AZ, right?
Yep, AZ, Arizona, baby.
All right. So right now you're getting out of the heat, and I mean we're in September. It's still pretty freaking hot down there.
Yeah, and in fact, the last couple of days, and I don't know how much longer it's going to go for, we've been having several excessive heat warning days.
Maria knows. She said she fell asleep on the stream yesterday.
I love Maria.
Oh yeah,
it's a lot of fun. Hey, she loves to get wind up when she comes in here. That's fantastic. Elaine, it was a pleasure talking to you. Absolutely, that was fun. It was enjoyable.
Yeah.
I
No,
like getting to know our
it's
folks.
fun having guests up and getting different, especially with everything that's going on. It's with the way that the U.S. is set up, and now you have different things going on in different states. It's interesting to hear everybody's perspective on how they're going through what they're going through, because everybody has just slight variations.
It's not just the states as well. I mean, damn, the entire world is going through the same damn thing. I mean, did you hear about Hawaii?
No, what's going on in Hawaii?
They got the passports going on. Mandate.
Ooh.
So
yeah.
I'm listening to
so I've seen a few people get in trouble for faking the passports, but I haven't heard. That's another one of those topics I can't really dive into.
Yeah, I understand that, but I was listening to Santa Surfing today, and she's just, I mean, she's usually a giddy and happy person, and she was just down in dumps and kind of desperate, just reaching out to anybody to be able to help, just sending out prayers because it's getting desperate. They're shutting down businesses and everything else to whoever, like in Australia, whoever does not comply. And again, it gets into what are our rights. We can't even talk about these things. We can't, ask questions or raise doubts or even criticize. I mean, the whole damn reason for freedom of speech was freedom of political speech.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that what we fought 2 world wars for?
Hopefully, if you get a chance, Elaine, you can pop up with us later. We'll probably be on for a little bit tonight. I have a feeling this is going to be a stretcher if Michael's down.
I don't know if we can do that much. I still got 10 pages that I got to finish translating.
But he says that, but then he can't walk away from the conversation.
If it's a good conversation, I can walk away from the weather. Oh, let's see. That right there is the best news that is, I mean, her governor has some of the best lines. It's just absolutely.
Terry's, I wasn't laughing at that. Terry's comment that just came up. I'll be getting to it here in a second. But definitely an intriguing question to get you hooked.
Now you have to jump into the chat just to find out.
No, I'll throw it up. I don't even know. Talking about some of that stuff is interesting too.
Terry, yeah, I like that one. That he said. Now that one right there, exactly. The scare event. That's we'll be talking to be. Where did I say people didn't like me? But anyway.
Wait, what did you see?
No, I just saw Maria's comment there, so I'm trying to figure out. So I don't know what that was a reference, but anyway, I enjoy. No, I'm trying to catch up. Man, the chat is just lighting it up today. So yeah, they might actually be talking to Dad. They'll all be enjoying you. But yeah, that's one big petri dish. Now, see, that was one of the things that got me in my book, because in the end, I wanted to be explain how everything works. That one grand unifying theory, kind of like Mark is trying to figure out. But in the end, when you get back biblically and everything else, and the main thing is who you're around, who you interact with. And it's those small interactions. It's not we're not going to change. Some people can control the weather. Absolutely. Some people control countries.
So let's expand.
That's not within each individual grasp.
Let's expand on those interactions. What do you think are the necessary interactions people need to be having on a local or a small level that will ensure that they're still challenging themselves and questioning what's going on around them in a healthy way?
Okay. First of all, one of the things that I mentioned in my book's not finished, but yes, it's mentioned in there because anyway.
Hey, I'm I'm gonna mute myself for a bit. If I don't say anything in like 10 minutes or so, feel free to ask where I'm at. But yeah, I'm gonna like the call some people right quick.
All right.
That's cool. All right. The thing we start, first of all, we have to love ourselves. If we don't love ourselves, nobody else is going to love us, and that sort of thing. And so it's kind of like that pick yourself up by the bootstraps type thing. And it's sort of, you figure out what you got to do and figure out your things, because when you're strong, you can help others that are having problems. Yes, it doesn't mean that you don't accept the helping hand, but you sort of accept the realities, and you love yourself. You try and do the best for yourself that you can. And then you can love others around you. For example, nobody's going to marry a guy who's a simp and is all, or some might, but it's really bizarre interactions. Usually they want somebody that's stronger, that can carry the load or carry their load, whatever it is. You will help others and you will love others. Okay. And love is treating others as thyself. Right. And so you expand that with your friends and your immediate family and that sort of thing. And then that creates a small community. Okay. And among that community, then you start talking about the larger community that's around you. Okay. It's where you can expand that positive interaction that you have with others. And whenever we can actually have, be a councilman, run for mayor. I've got a friend of mine who's running for mayor in Texas. Why? Because she saw what they were doing in her community and she didn't like it.
Well, and so it's those grassroots organizations that need to move up.
That's the whole thing. That's what I was telling Elaine about it before. I mean, if people were in it for themselves, and that's what we got, the corrupt officials that happen down here all the fucking time. Okay, when people were in it for themselves, because that's what they're there for. But if we're there for our community, which are our brothers and sisters, our neighbors, the people that we interact with, the John down the street that has a store, and the Bob that has the butcher, and you get your vegetables from the other place, and you get your hair cut at the other place, and you get your alcohol from that store, and that guy's kind of skitsy. He's always got a gun on the premises because, well, he's just nervous. And you get to know all these people, and you want to protect them. You want the best for them. And if you got somebody going in, oh yeah, we're going to sell all your shit for nothing, and we're just going to mow everything down and build up our own. No, you're going to want to protect that. So you're going to look out for their interests. And when you're a councilman, you're going to be thinking about those individuals. They're not numbers. They're not statistics. Whenever you get larger, 330 million people, 15% and 0.1% and 0.21% and 15 million and then 2005, they're all fucking numbers. And it doesn't fucking matter to anybody because everybody's bored of statistics. Statistics can be manipulated. But when it's grassroots, John, Maria, Elaine, Rocco, Jacob, Tiffany, Alex, each one of them. And you're trying to look out for their interests. You're not trying to screw any of them in the back. Because that's not what you went there. You went there to represent them. And that's what you're thinking about whenever you're making those larger decisions. When people don't make those larger decisions is where we have now in the incompetent freaking idiot resident that's there. Okay, why? Because he doesn't give a fuck about anybody else other than his own freaking numbers and what his bosses tell him to do because he already got paid. And now he's got to work because he done got paid long freaking time ago.
Well, no,
that's the problem.
If the media supports him along his route, then he'll do just fine. He'll go down as a mediocre president, and that's all.
We'll all be fucked.
Do you think they're worried about that in the long term?
No, they're not. That's why I'm talking about. We need to be worried about that individually going up, and that's the grassroots.
Yeah, I agree. U.S. citizens
to the local level again. But the problem is that we have a constitution that allows us to not have a king dictate what we should do. That's the whole reason why we had a Declaration of fucking Independence.
I mean, I have a feeling we should expect that from now on with all of our next presidents with executive orders.
Yeah, well, you know what? They should.
Going up and up.
We as a population, they should expect lawsuits.
Did you see what Maria said?
Sorry, I got that. Mm-hmm. Okay, that was bizarre interchange.
That was from why she said you thought
from what she
she
had
was gonna
mentioned the
leave.
other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's catching the chat on because I'm just focused on you and me and not in the chat because the chat has a lag on the video and so it throws me off sometimes if I go into and the chat's flying. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I have it on slow on our angles just so I can keep up with it.
Oh, absolutely, and it gives
But
us.
it still goes live on there, so they might have a little delay watching it. But at the same time, at least it'll be relevant to what we're talking about, and it won't be thrown off.
Yeah. Mud Rabbit next. Devil. Okay.
The large
are we going to go there, Mud Rabbit? Are we going to go there, Mud Rabbit? I so want to go there, Mud Rabbit. I think we're almost there, Mud Rabbit. Holy
I feel like something has to be done with unions first. I would like to know what Mud Rabbit's proposal is for unions because I don't see small businesses ever growing steam without unions being taken out of the light.
If you take the mafia control out of things, then you have a tendency to improve the lives of those.
Why would you correlate unions with mafia control? That's an interesting correlation.
Lula, Brazil's ex-president, was a union leader, and he's missing a finger.
Well, and I'm in the Chicagoland area, and the Chicago unions were started by mafia leaders as well.
But then again, we got Las Vegas and Hollywood. That's yeah, Mud Rabbit knows me too damn well. But I'm excited because we're almost there. The first dominoes are falling. Okay, and if people are going to still get caught off surprise, they shouldn't be because we've been in this game for a year and a half at least. But in reality, since 2017, so in 4 years, we've been knowing about this stuff and waiting for a lot of it to fucking happen. A lot of it has, supposedly, and we haven't seen it. A lot of it has happened, and we have seen it. And a lot of it is to happen and is happening at this time. Dominoes are falling. Jimmy Hoffa. That's. I'll just
yeah.
And then we'll just leave it at that.
No, you can talk about Jimmy Hoffa. He's overrated at this point.
I'm just talking about the fact that we don't even know where his bones are. And then we get. I mean, seriously, there are stories that I read in a news article about this, but that's about how to get rid of bodies. So we won't get into there.
I have a friend whose uncle was killed by John Wayne Gacy.
Okay.
Well, we were just talking about bodies and hiding bodies and stuff like that, and I was like, "Oh, it's interesting that somebody that was a huge serial killer in Illinois actually had an effect on my immediate life that I would have noticed."
But how did he hide his bodies?
He put them all under his house and in crawl spaces. And he's the one that dressed up like a clown and went to little kids' events. But he was also a contractor, so he could construct things to hide his bodies. Yeah.
Good. All right. Yeah. Life is so bizarre. I thought you were saying he was the one who used to wear people's skins. That's a whole nother story.
Oh yeah, no, that's Buffalo. That's old Bill.
Yeah, union bosses and big companies and that sort of thing are going to go down. They're next, Mud Rabbit, because they're all leveraged. But the problem is,
I just don't understand how you're going to knock down a pyramid scheme. I feel like pyramid schemes are still going to be a thing.
It's all built up on one thing, and if you knock out that one block, and that's the reason that I had the conversation with my dad last week.
Oh no! For some reason, I thought that said Christopher Walken. Oh my gosh! You do that again, I'm gonna come at you with a soldering iron. I can't remember. I can't do it.
Wasn't he Goblin? Wasn't he Goblin in Spider-Man?
No, that was Busey. No, not Busey. God, can't think of his name. But he was also in Saints. God, I can't think of the name now. It's not Saints Row. That's the video game. But God, I can't think of the name. It's these two Irish guys that go around killing people.
Saints?
Is it Boondock Saints? Yeah, he's the detective in that. That's the guy who plays the Green Goblin, the gay detective in that dances around and listens to music when he's investigating the scenes.
Oh, that's the guy. Okay.
Yeah, that's the Green Goblin. Different guy.
Yeah. Different guy. Okay.
Well, they dance the same. Christopher Walken likes to dance like that too. They have that same.
I think they all have the same programming.
They gyrate the same.
To be honest with you, but the way that you knock down the pyramid scheme is you knock down. It's a leverage. Pyramid schemes are all about leveraging, and everything's leveraged on a very fragile base. And if you take out that base, the whole damn thing falls. The problem is that it takes a whole lot of shit with it because the entire system is built up on that. Okay. All right. Interesting. Is that an invite?
So we have a trip planned that's coming up. We're going to do a documentary on this page where we go to Montauk, New York, and go explore the old abandoned site. We're not going to release the time yet because it's kind of an illegal operation to do that. So,
what about the Grays? Are you going to be expecting the Grays?
Well, Rocco has his own opinion about where he thinks the Grays are located on the Montauk base. He thinks they might be below it, and my response to that is, hell no! I'll kick a Gray in the dick. I am not going to let a Gray take me anywhere unless he's fully able to. I mean, I assume they're able to like paralyze me and definitely take advantage of me. But I'm going to fight like hell.
Before they paralyze you, they will talk to you in your brain because they're telepathic, and they'll warn you. And then whenever they sense, before you even know you're going to do it, they already know, and so they'll paralyze you at that point.
Those are the I don't have a brain.
Those are the nice ones. The bad ones will just point their finger at you and drill a hole in your body like they did with that guy with the 4 fingers gone. That should be, and that would be great if it were. Now, why do we need? See, that's the thing about the abuse of corporations. We need unions to keep the corporations in check. So you're telling me that corporations are really nice people?
Unions,
I think allow them to do whatever the hell they want, like censor our speech.
I think unions can be a positive thing. I think they're abused. I've always thought unions could be done right, and I do think they could be a benefit. But right now, I see it like my best examples are teachers' unions and cops' unions. If you have a bad cop and the union's protecting him just to keep him on the force, that's not what I'm looking for. If you have a bad teacher that's not passing students and not teaching kids, they shouldn't be left on to get their tenure.
I don't give a shit. It's that grassroots movement that I told you that I mentioned earlier politically. It's the same thing. We had back in the day, you had kids working, you had people working 7 days a week, 12-hour days. Okay. And they were working for shit money. Okay. And so all of a sudden they decided to get together and say, look, we're not going to work for you unless we have these basic conditions. And it was a big, long ass fight because companies didn't want to do it. It wasn't lucrative. There was no profit in it for them. Okay. So through people getting together and making their voices heard, they showed their true power. And that's what unions picked up on. Now, they abuse that power, and therein lies a problem. Now, I like the idea of unions because we work Monday through Friday. We work 8-hour days.
And it does
we
help.
work in safe working conditions. There are fire exits that aren't sealed. You actually should be able to go to the bathroom
or block. Well, I mean, it's the simple things that OSHA doesn't follow through with as well. Like there's a lot of other things that unions were started before OSHA was a big thing. Before we
OSHA
really
was created because of the demands of the unions on the government and everything else. But what I'm trying to get at is if we see all this shit is going down and we don't want it, we don't like those mandates.
Gosh, I heard about that today. Did I tell you? Oh my God, I heard about that today. OSHA might be requiring vaccines for workers because the CDC is allowed to make guidances and OSHA is allowed to make rules, is how I was told it was presented to me. And I was like, oh my goodness, they're going down a interesting route. I see what they're doing. It's the
mark of the beast. It will be forced on you.
That's not the mark of the beast. This isn't Satan. I'm just confused about why they're doing it. I want to know the intent behind it.
Yeah, killing of as many people as possible. But
stop. That's not what it is. We can't say stuff like that. That's not what it is. You're not a doctor. You don't know these things.
Neither were the guys in the Nuremberg trials. I mean, you know when shit's wrong.
Yeah.
You know when people are being freaking sadistic bastards.
Well, I mean, every once in a while, the government wants to give 100 black families syphilis, and you're just supposed to take it. That's why you're supposed to trust your government all the time. What happened in Tuskegee? That was just an experiment on lab rats.
That's not the essence of what being an American is. That's a European or whatever the fuck they think. But the America that I grew up in, government, no, we are not supplicants of the government. We are not serfs of the government. The government are our servants. They're our employees. We're the ones that put them there. And we are being bad fucking bosses because we're not telling them you're fired. We should. Every fucking one of them.
Mud Rabbit knows.
I know.
I feel like if we talk about open programs like the Tuskegee experiment, or I mean, I'm pretty sure Bill Clinton talked about MK Ultra. We're allowed to dabble down that road, but as long as we stay off of current events when it comes to these things,
you can't talk about Waco.
I didn't know you couldn't talk about Waco. That's weird.
Huh?
I didn't know you couldn't talk about Waco. I haven't heard about that. I know what Waco is. I've heard about what Waco is. I just didn't know that you couldn't talk about it.
Why? Because it's government.
We're trying our best. And if I have to, I'll go back and edit it. Should I make this private and go back and edit it? Is there specific things?
I haven't said anything.
I feel like we've tiptoed well. I feel like we tiptoed well.
We have, yes, you're right, Mud Rabbit. I will behave. But the dominoes are falling. The dominoes are starting to fall. Okay. I prefer to get into the devolution, and everybody's going to get about $1 million, about $100,000 a year for the next 11 years. And that's a whole nother rabbit hole that I don't know if the censors are actually into that. They're into the obvious shit, the superficial crap that's really fucking up our lives.
God damn it,
because it is. What?
I said I'm dropping everything in front of me. Go ahead, sorry.
Well, that's what a half a bottle of whiskey will do to you.
I haven't had any whiskey tonight. I've actually only had some cherry vanilla Coke.
Wow.
Yeah. I did have some rum though. No whiskey tonight.
Cherry vanilla Coke. Yeah, I'm jealous. You know I'm a Dr. Pepper fan, but still, cherry.
Oh yeah, no. Only the colas for me.
I thought you avoided sugar.
It's all zero sugar. It's not better for me. It's probably got aspartame and stuff in it.
Well, I prefer aspartame to other things, but
I mean, if I'm putting alcohol in my body and poisoning myself with that,
I'm a smoker. What the fuck am I telling anybody anything about? I'm a smoker. What the hell am I talking about? Anybody, you know? I gave up soccer on Monday because I just can't hang anymore. And my dad's all happy about it because he thinks that I'm too old to be doing that shit anyway. But still, I had fun. But I couldn't keep up anymore. I mean, running an hour. I mean, before I could actually. Now, yeah, my heart starts pounding a bit too much. My dad was worried about me getting injured, but I have a tendency of injuring others, not vice versa. Yes, that's what I was talking about, Terry. And
Very so interesting. All right, so Terry, do you do that for emphasis or because you think it's bad to share that name?
Because that's AI censored and looked at. There are certain terminologies that they.
That's why I didn't pronounce it. Yeah,
exactly. Which is why I didn't, or did I? But I try not to.
Oh,
okay.
Never mind. So much for terminologies. I didn't realize it was going to follow up with that because I didn't know. I had just assumed now that it's attached to that.
I didn't even know who that person in Mud Rabbit mentioned was.
Hey, there's a lot of Karens in the world. I mean, what can you do about
them? You can sentence them for crimes against humanity for being cunts. But anyway,
wow, you came hard with the C word on my page. What it was?
Seriously, that's a.
We're not in English
all the time.
Come on, this is not appropriate. We're in the U.S. This is not English. There is no. If you were a girl, I could say you could say it. No, that's my girlfriend. That's my girlfriend's favorite word. What do you got? Favorite word.
All right. So how about an arse?
Ooh.
But no, there's it's crimes against humanity because you're hating on somebody else. I mean, it's basically what the adversary does. The adversary's job is to sit there in God's ear and say, "Hey, look, this guy's doing that thing bad. Look at that guy. That guy did something else bad. You know, neither one of they're all screwed. You know, that one, you know, he's awful too because look at this other thing that he did the other day." So that's the accuser. That's our adversary. That's the guy that we're fighting against the entire time because he wants us gone.
That's the tiptoe topic, Mud Rabbit.
Oh, that's
what she revealed. Yeah, I could see. See how she was unwanted because she's breaking up the powers that be.
Well, the powers that be will try to destroy you as much as anything that they can. I mean, look at.
Oh no! They want to ride without being seen and not be brought to attention. That way, they keep having people involved in the
various acts that they have. Swamp. But the thing is that you're not just draining the swamp to get rid of it, but to expose it. We're looking at the crocodiles and the cobras, and there's these huge anacondas down there. They're just maneuvering everything around. That's cool. I need to look her up, definitely. Why? Because those are the same guys that have the phrase "build back better," you know. And I found out something new about the N and the W and the other letter O. That's not new, and arrangement that was actually taken from the 1940s German leaders' playbook, and therein lies the question: we are still in World War II. And they're still trying to.
I have a question for you, Mr. Peña. Are we allowed to talk about ivermectin?
I don't know. They've been. They've.
Okay, so what if we're using it? What if we're using ivermectin in the phrase of, "Oh, ivermectin is that thing that they give to immigrants that come into our country as a recommended treatment for." Deparasite,
any kind of disease, river blindness, or
would you say that's something that we could talk about, or is that
yeah?
One of those?
I don't necessarily want to talk about river blindness. I want to talk about how
be careful.
pH levels, the more I would like to talk about, the more alkaline your body is, and it will never be alkaline. An alkaline body actually kills you. It has to be acidic. But the more acidic it is, the more things grow in you, including worms and other things that like to grow inside bodies.
Yeah, it's good at parasites.
And so whenever we reduce the acidity levels, those things that feed on that have a tendency to flee. And so that's why you shit out the worms, because the worms are trying to get away from the low acidity levels. And like that, many other things that grow in our body function in the same way. So not only one kind of illness, but numerous kinds of illnesses can be resolved with this simple, very cheap, and globally used situation. In fact,
the other simile I like to make
come from the studies that you want to mention come from India, they come from Argentina, they come from France,
they come from the U.S. as well. They come from the U.S. I used to really a lot of people don't like to mention. It's a Nobel Prize winning drug that we use often. I mean, a lot of people don't like to talk about that right now. But what you're using to treat it for is always up to question. I think it has specific uses.
My problem is those mandates from a corrupted CDC.
No. I mean, what I want to point out is all of the clear examples of why we have this and why it's important. And I don't want people to confuse it because let me give another example. All right, so Prozac is a good example. You can get Prozac for your dog, and you can also get it for yourself. There's a lot of
the Crowder thing this morning, right?
Yes, there's a lot of medications that are also prescribed to animals that are also prescribed to humans. Just because you're taking something that is also taken by an animal doesn't mean you're taking an animal drug and turning down a really black hole.
For humans for decades.
Yeah. And it's literally giving to all of the immigrants that come into this country.
It's one of the main medications on the WHO's list of need to have medications.
Top five. Yeah.
But yet they want to, but it's not. Come on. That's too hot for TV. Absolutely. And that's where Marfugal News usually has on his website. He has the too hot for TV things, which are there. And that list is growing because the too hot for TV is growing because the dominoes are falling. Okay. And they get more paranoid and they want to cover up. No, don't look there. Don't look there. Don't look there. Don't look. No, you can't look anywhere. Just look at the puppy dogs and kitty cats and how pretty they are and how funny they are. Let's. The NFL is starting again. Cool. All right, we got news on the NFL. We'll focus on the NFL.
Look over here. Rocco.
As long as you look where we want you to look, it's all accepted. That's not free speech.
Rocco, Mac's doing good. I've talked to him. I know Peña's talked to him a little bit. He's starting up some new servers that are paying for a new studio that he just purchased, I believe, out in Ireland. And he
made $400 million in a day and a half.
His Bitcoin mining alone, just in that building, is paying for his rent and everything that has to do with that building. So, yes, he is doing fine and doing well. Just to give you a little update. Oh well, he's still trying to talk me. So I'm convinced he might be. I don't know. I'll talk to you about it offline. But he might be trying to help us with something.
Okay.
Something a little different.
But I do need to get my Bitcoin wallet up.
Yes.
So that if anybody does want to donate, I'll have that.
Michael, yes. Put it up. Like, go do it after we get off this stream. Put it up.
Yeah.
I'm so serious. I'm so serious. You don't need any money to do what we're talking about. Go up, take the time. It'll be worth it. You don't need any money to do what we're talking about, to put up your wallet.
Create the wallet? I don't need money to create the wallet.
No, it's just a file for people to put stuff into.
Okay.
Basically, I mean, in layman's terms.
because the bottom is about to drop out of reality as we know it. And that's the only thing that's going to more or less remain as it is while everything else plummets. So yeah, that will be one of the best stores of value that we have in this most chaotic time that is about to come upon us. Because good thing is the bad guys are going down. The problem is they're taking down the whole fucking system with them. And so if we can't survive outside that system or in spite of the system, that's going to be problematic. Think about the 1970s, the early 1980s for the emerging world. That's what we're about to go through again. And so, whole gold is hard to sell and everything else. So yeah.
I'm interested to see what happens with precious metals in the next 5 years. Which way they go?
We're not talking years. We're talking months, actually.
It's not months.
Seriously,
it's not months. Electronic currency isn't that stable yet. Do I think it's Michael's talked me into the fact that it's safe, and he showed me how it can be safe. But
it is
safe.
Safe.
It's not backed enough by everybody else's confidence where it's going to take over in a matter of months.
No. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about precious metals. You mentioned precious.
No, I'm saying, but they would have to dive opposed to something else.
No. You can have precious metals and Bitcoin. That's not a problem.
That's why the argument has always been: if we went mining on a meteorite and brought back a bunch of precious metals, it would devalue what we have when it comes to precious metals. It wouldn't just go down naturally.
Well,
the cost of living could go up.
Only if everybody's in it.
The cost of living
only
could
if you
go
give
up
up those
regardless.
precious metals to everybody else. Otherwise, you become extremely rich. The ones mining that, because basic economics. If it's not in the system, just because you have it doesn't mean it's not going to be worthwhile. Because if nobody else has it and they're willing to look at diamonds, for example. There are so many diamonds that they would not be worth it, but they're being hidden and stored away by De Beers, and they only make available those which they believe are the most valuable and to maintain.
So that brings me to the perfect topic. So how do you feel about artificial diamonds that we're creating in a factory that are cleaner than other diamonds? People don't have to dig them out in slave type environments. There's no such thing as blood diamonds when you're doing that, but they have to be sold at a lesser value because they're not forged for it.
Why do they have to be sold at a lesser value?
Well, I mean, they don't have to be. I don't know if they're trying to compete with the market. I don't know if they're trying to compete with the market or if people will take more value in the others. I think it comes down to the consumer again. And like we were talking about, that grassroots makes a difference. Don't buy things if you think they're bad.
One of the reasons that I got out of economics is because I was into it for mathematical purposes. I mean, because I love science and I love physics, and I knew that there was a system to economics and everything else. And there is a basic math to economics, and things, if they run the way they're supposed to, is relatively predictable and analyzable. The problem is a lot of economics is based on emotion, and emotions can be manipulated. Okay. And so it depends on what people perceive value.
I'll be right back.
Okay. So I'll continue on that topic.
Oh yeah, you're fine. Continue.
Cool. So the thing is that the value isn't necessarily what the cost of the product is. In fact, sometimes things can cost more than what you can actually sell them for. The value is the perceived value added to the consumer. What's the consumer going to gain with this? So whenever we've got the fake diamond, you got the cubic zirconia, which is made out of glass. You got the mined diamond, which is made out of thousands or millions of years of pressure at the Earth's core in order to, make that coal into that particular formation. And now we've got the scientific equivalent of forming a diamond scientifically, which is easier and everything else. But the value would be the perceived value of the consumer. And the consumer, if they're industrial, the perceived value would be, is it worthwhile? You're not going to sell a cubic zirconia to a mining company because they put that in the tip and it's going to break off. Then why did you sell me glass? If the industrial diamond is as resistant and as strong as the natural diamond, then there wouldn't be a reduced value. There shouldn't be. There should be a profit potential there for that. Now, whenever we talk about a diamond that's for forever, diamonds are forever, that thing that you put on your ring, then, you've got the chocolate diamonds, which is also a made-up name because they wanted to make sure that their dirty diamonds were also valuable. So they come up with these different names to make it's propaganda, it's emotion, it's the manipulation of the person. But you're it's only a good engagement ring if you spend 2 or 3 salaries on the ring. Says who? Propaganda. It's what the programming says, and that is to feed into their system. They feed into the advertisements to manipulate your brain, and you feed into them by going, oh yeah, that sounds good, I'm going to impress her and save up all kinds of cash for something they'll park on her hand to make people feel better. Why? So it's all the perceived value that you see in that diamond. Like I said while you were gone, don't know if you heard, for industrial purposes, mining, I don't see a difference between the artificial, industrially made diamond and the one mined. If they are both harder than the material that they're digging into, then I would see no difference in the value between those two. Now, if it's unknown, they don't know if it's as stable or if it's as durable, then yeah, they'll probably have to sell it at a relative discount, not a huge discount, but a relative risk appropriate discount. Once it's proven, I'm sure that will be more valuable than the natural diamond because it will be perfected. They'll be able to manufacture it exactly the way people want it to.
Yeah.
And they don't carry the risks of a natural diamond. Because I see the world going towards everything unnatural. Everything the more organized and orchestrated and industrialized and controllable.
You see Lane's comment? I believe we will be creating alternative universes someday. I believe we're creating alternative universes by every decision you make in life.
Thank you very much. You just put my book into words. Thank you very much. Every decision
Terry had a good one too. What if we are starting an association of time travelers? Like you register with the association and be officially recognized as a time traveler. I feel like that's a good,
but you have to talk
chance.
About
only if you can pry it away from the military's fingers.
Who says the military are the only time travelers?
No, I'm saying the military are the only ones that are going to abuse it and not let anybody else use it if they have the technology. Why would they share it with the public and have to deal with public involved in the military actions that they're pursuing?
Yeah, military options to manipulate time. Not a good thing.
Diamond is a girl's best friend.
Diamond. I was thinking a whole other thing with ring and that sort of thing. But anyway, yeah, because they're no longer human, and that's the objective. They want to make us less human. And if we could be in an association for traveling, I would be fine with that. I would love to know, even if I didn't have to interact with that time, to know what it was like specifically, not the made up told history that we have to try and decipher if it was true from this perspective. And you try and get 5 different perspectives together to find out what the real reality was. And it's a lot of fucking work versus going back there and just going, hey, how you doing?
That's good, Rocco.
So that's excellent, Rocco. That is a good first step. I mean, welcome to the 4th dimension. So,
it's when you have that kind of programming over you that I think Rocco is describing, to break through that.
Programming is
whether
to
it's
maintain him as much as possible in the third.
Well, even if it's just that public perspective of I need to work an hourly job for the rest of my life just to break even. There's all kinds of programming that's put over the public that some people don't want to recognize, but I don't know. That's
Our
my
doctors
perspective.
only want the
I feel
best
like
for us.
there's a lot of systems that people want you to be in that you don't necessarily have to be in to make it by.
It's called manipulation. They all want you in their group. Everybody wants to be on your channel, Jacob. You're cool as shit and you're popular and everything else. So hell yeah.
I'm not popular. I just I don't know. I give people their 5 minutes of fame and they like to jump out. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I've met a lot of good people on here.
Actually, the
I
phrase
can't
is
lie.
15 minutes of fame, and it was Andy Warhol that mentioned everybody likes their 15 minutes of fame.
Well, yeah,
Yes,
I don't give people 15 minutes. I give them 5. What are you talking about?
Okay. So
We
I'm
appreciate it,
privileged.
Maria. Thank you.
Okay, cool. She's got to run.
Keeping us
some
playing
errands.
on the TV in the background, even while she's running errands, keeping that viewership up. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. That definitely goes towards counts. Yeah. Look, Rocco, everything's possible. Yeah, there's
I
so many
also
levels.
like to live dangerously.
I don't enjoy taking risks because I've already taken too many. So I've kind of learned my lessons. Yeah, Mud Rabbit's absolutely right on that one. Yeah, everyday everyday person's programming is. It took me 10 years to get out of it down here, and yeah, Rocco was just so into. I mean, fucking MK.
Well, it's very specific, and that's why I say that's just another layer that I couldn't imagine. Because I don't.
It's Pavlovian. It gets into when I used to train my football players, your muscle memory, to where you don't think about it, you just react that way, and that is the point to where they try and get to where you don't think about the things that you're doing, you just react the way you've been programmed to. And they did that back in the '60s, and lots of people are gone now because of that, but. I don't know if they stopped that program, and that's the whole thing. They might continue it. They might have stopped parts of it because some of it became public, but in the end, yeah, they're still fucking around people's lives, and it's gone deeper. They've learned the things that they had to learn. They don't need to learn those things again. They know that people are highly programmable. They know that how to program people. They know that fear is the best way to program them, and they've already done that. But the Germans knew this back in the fucking day. That's why they did. So they've gotten into much, much deeper. And if we start thinking about Elon Musk and Neuralink, we can start to figure out exactly how fucking deep they're going, because there are things about people being able to listen.
Well, I mean, like I've always said, if you're thinking in long term, I mean, Neuralink just has to be the first step of totally making yourself as much robotic as you possibly can, so that you can outlive, and you know what I mean, not have to rely on organic matter to get you through. I just feel like it's got to be a beginner step.
Have you watched Bicentennial Man?
Bicentennial Man, or if you want to talk there, I mean, there's episodes of Black Mirror that are like this, Terminator. I mean, I feel like everything can lead you to this at one point.
But at one point, well, then we get into one of the greatest battles that I remember from Star Wars was Ben Kenobi versus General. Oh God, I call myself a fan. Oh, the sixth-armed fucking lunatic that Grievous, General Grievous.
33 views so far, no restrictions yet. That's good.
All right, cool. So I didn't. I didn't.
Oh no, we all could have said something bad. It just hasn't been reviewed yet. But you know,
okay.
There's always a possibility.
we apologize. None of us are doctors, and it's just my fucking opinion. It doesn't matter anyway.
And Angel didn't mean to use the S word because he didn't know what
he had no idea. I mean, it's like the first time that I met you on Aaron's show. You wanted to go off on AJ, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, hold on, because
that's actually not a dangerous. So now I've learned more. I watched Alex Jones today talking. He took ivermectin live on air. I advise everybody to check out Alex Jones. He's got some interesting information. It's not on YouTube because he's
My
not a
wife has
member.
been giving it to my kids every 2 weeks, just as a
But I feel like as long as you don't push the same things he's pushing, you can direct people anywhere you want. You're not advertising for them.
Yeah, it's whenever I started talking about ingredients and problems with them that got us into problems.
Yeah.
Too much truth is the problem. Too much truth. But see, the thing is, all of that is still, we need to find a way to live our lives outside that system, because the system wants to dominate us ever more. And if we allow it to, we become General Grievous. Getting back to that topic, I mean, you've got Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? So he's this Jedi master, and he's got his full appendages. He hasn't lost his hand yet, like Anakin Skywalker has, and he's there fighting against General Grievous, which is basically the cyborg with a heart and a brain.
Is it a heart of gold?
No, it's just a paltry little fucking old human heart that's kind of barely beating. And it's there. It's that heart and the brain. It's the only thing, and everything else is appendages that he can change out at will.
Hold on, I gotta address this. I don't think he's butthurt at all. I think he doesn't like. I don't think he likes the perspective.
AJ and Joe, but I mean, it's like
I don't think he's. Yeah, they're buddies. Yeah, they're buddies. I don't think AJ's mad about his perspective, or the fact that he got the attention. I think he's mad because it was negative attention on something that clearly shouldn't be negative. Absolutely. It was the same reason that I addressed it the way I did today.
I thought he had $100 million contract. Crowder this morning mentioned $280 million.
Well, I was looking at it. I'm like, we talked about this the other day on the live stream, and I was like, God, he fucking cleared COVID like Magic Johnson cleared AIDS. Like it was wild. It was quick and to the point.
There was also this article about Oscar de la Hoya, who also came down with it, and he took all the medically indicated things, and he's still in the fucking hospital on a respirator, and not feeling better and everything else.
Have a good night, Rocco. Be safe.
All right, Rocco. Okay, so wow, he's got all righty. That's some deeper stuff. I won't mess with that.
The one person that told me that AJ was controlled opposition, his dad worked for the CIA, and he's the only other person that I thought I believed on a lot of things, and he switched on me with AJ, and I don't know, drives me nuts.
I heard the same thing, but at the same time, one of the reasons I'm awake is because
what are you doing over there? Smoke clouds.
Rocco.
What's up, man? What's up? Oh man, this is definitely a good show. Oh yeah, that's something interestingly enough. What's that, Peña?
I thought you were going to another dimension, man.
Oh, I kind of had to snap out of that. It wasn't. I got a indication. It was funny. Right after that, he sent a link. Anybody can join. And I said, "There's something here. I gotta, get on there and just." I needed to break.
Those are the little things that God does to say, "Hey, son, go over this way. Go that way. Come here."
Yeah.
God does that.
Absolutely.
He's in control. He wins.
But, yep.
So
but Jacob, I sent you something about Jack Pruitt. They did say his name in Montauk Chronicles. They did.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought Jack Pruitt was that guy. Like, he was the one that was
Preston says, don't do it, Jack. Don't do it. I sent you the actual clip of it. It's pretty interesting. It's really interesting.
It's too
but
hard
yeah,
to
I'm a risk taker, man. I'm a risk taker. Like, as far as like, I believe that there's a possibility that some of us, you know, and there are people that have time traveled into the future that actually have went and changed things around for the future, and we're just not aware of it yet. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, well, and I also think it's happened in our past as well. Like if you
right,
look at times like Y2K is always a big one for me, and I think it's connected with John Teeter or John Titer, depending on how you pronounce it. I think he was a big influence on why Y2K didn't happen.
right, right. Well, see, that's what I mean is like, you know, a time traveler, we can go forward or backward, you know, and not necessarily like have to, it's physically, but it's kind of like I can go to sleep and go do something somewhere else. I've had other individuals. Yeah, I've spoken with other individuals that have seen me on missions that have, you know, talked about AI programs going on and, you know, Antarctica. And, you know, I was in Antarctica
Tell
and
me
I
about
rescued.
Antarctica. What's going on over there?
Well, what happened was, is I was on a mission because the girl and the family that I actually rescued from some kind of program that they were trying to do there, where they were trying to implant, it seemed like, what I could remember, but some of the faces I could not remember. But these people I did exactly remember. And as I was coming back, I woke up with the memory of coming off of or getting onto a Black Hawk and having to, you know, lean down with my AK and do what I had to do. It was, you know, they wanted them for some reason. I don't know what it was, but it was funny. She contacted me and told me, I seen you, and it had something to do with a helicopter. Her memories weren't fully there, and I kind of explained it to her, and she started to have the, you know, like a flash of it, you know, kind of. And it's not the first time it's happened, and I don't even like boasting. It's not something to boast about, you know. It's sometimes it can get hectic. And it
Just
can,
something you
like
got to
you
do.
said, destroy your job. Like it's like living a duality. It's like you got to live that two-parted life.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
unfortunately, people aren't rich. You know, some people are. You know, some people aren't. Some people aren't fortunate enough. They have to go to work every day or whatever it is they do. And, you know, you got to kind of not tell certain people these things, and you really want to tell them. It's like when you have an abduction and, you know, you are brought back and it's 5:30 in the morning, or you don't know what time it is, but you look at the watch and you got to be to work in it like a half hour. Now you got to go to work with all of those memories, and act like, oh, I'm happy to be here working with you guys.
Mhm.
You know, like, no, I'm not happy. If you only knew what my
Well,
other,
yeah,
you know, the second
we were
part.
talking about that earlier. It's the system that you have to be a part of.
Yep.
And you have to you have to be happy just like everybody else is. And if you think
Did you
anything
see what
different, you're screwed.
Did you see what Terry said, Rocco?
Oh, yeah. I'm very familiar with the original. So his original post when he was posting them back, you know.
In '01.
Yeah, Terry, he contacted me. I can't remember when. I think it was around 2015. It was right after Montauk Chronicle, or before. It was actually before Montauk Chronicles even came out. Because I remember I pre-ordered the movie early, and it took almost another year. Um, but yeah, he's definitely a somebody nice to talk to.
Well, and so people ask all the time, like, what do you think of all the other interviews? I've always thought those are actually those are John Teeters, but I think they're on different timelines. I don't necessarily
Right.
think they're the same John Teeter that everybody's expecting in like a chronological order.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like I told you, I'm convinced that the John Teeter that's going to grow up to be the one that we know is actually in your home state at the moment. Because I
Well,
figured
yeah,
that
this
out
is
from
not my
Mr.
home state,
McIntosh.
and I won't. I don't think I want to leave here anytime soon and go back to New York. No, thank you. No, thank you, man. People are getting arrested for nothing. I'm getting all kinds of my friends. They're like, "Where can I move there?" And I told people years ago. I said, "You watch, wait, and see." It's all gonna, it's you're gonna see what happens, and it's better to live in the Midwest.
I was waiting because you said people are getting arrested randomly in New York. I was like, oh, cue the Peña Perspective. What are they getting arrested for? What are the crimes being committed?
Thank you very much for filling in for my commentary.
Yeah, no,
See, that's
I
exactly
mean, they've been, but when I lived in New York, I had something happen, unfortunately, you hang around the wrong people, you get involved with the wrong people, the wrong things happen. Well, the good guys came and treated me like the criminal, but meanwhile, I was the one who just got home invaded. And, no, they didn't care about that.
What?
They,
If you don't, do you mind me asking what happened?
I was hit in the head with a what 9 times. Now I only bled for a few seconds. During the whole process, it started to rain, and they dropped what they had when they were hitting me in the head, and the cop just sat there while I smoked a cigarette and let it rain all over the
They're just being nice.
yeah. Took me to the police station, never took me to the hospital. I had a really bad concussion for a while.
What were they? Why did they take you to the police station? What were they trying to charge you with?
They thought that I had something to do with living in New York. You know how it is. You get the living in even in the suburbs is wrong people. I knew some of the wrong people, and they thought that we were doing things together, and we never were. Meaning, I don't really want to say it on here
Oh
because,
no, that's why I said if it's personal,
yeah,
don't feel like you got to share it out.
no,
Whatever you feel like
I'm
divulging.
more worried about censorship than anything because
Hopefully it doesn't dabble down the lines of something that would be censored.
no, that's why I'm like pulling back on it a little bit, but that's just what I mean. It's people act like they were doing things years ago, and no, they weren't. I mean, I had another instance when I was on paper. If you know what on paper means, staying to myself, just walking up to the store to get something to eat. One of them stops me, lets me go. Next thing you know, he pulls back around the corner, throws me on the car, and locks me up for something that was in another state that was well over the statute of limitation. I go in front of the judge.
Is that why
It
you're?
just being an
Is that why you're
excuse.
scared?
It
Is that why
doesn't
you're
have to be a
scared of paper
legitimate
now?
excuse. It just has to be an excuse. That's all they need to arrest you.
Is that why I'm what? No, but I do know that in those areas, that's why it's going to be a little risky for sure. It seems every time I go there, and quite a few people that I know that go there. We're not going to say the name, and we're not going to say the time or date or anything like that. So nobody will know that. You might get us in the woods on camera, but GPSs and everything else are going off. That's that. Because I'll tell you, they know for some reason. It growing up out there for me sucked, man. It was like, I was always the kid that got blamed for things that I never did. I think it comes with the program. That's exactly what I think.
We got new guests
Game,
popping
they
in.
want to keep you in the system.
We got new guests popping in. You mind if we bid adieu?
Yep.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful night, Rocco. We'll talk to you soon, man.
Everything else. I was listening, trying to comment, but I was trying to catch up on chat and not have everyone watch me, looking in here. But Rocco, go on to another dimension, but take care of your body. Remember, when you're away from home, somebody else can come in. Make sure that you're protected. Cool.
Oh, most definitely. You two have a good night, all right? Everybody have a good night.
Rocco. Thanks.
You, Rocco.
All right, brother.
Love that name, man. Rocco.
Rocco's Modern Life. Rocco's Modern Life.
That was good. It was cool. We could have had 4 people. Unless that's your thing.
Well, no, Rocco's got a little delay on his audio. It's kind of hard to get 4 people talking. So I wanted to make sure we could all talk at once.
Shout out to Rocco. That's my dog's name, by the way. That is a cool name.
No, I know. Yeah. I've met your dog a couple times. I know he'll jump on the stream. How you doing tonight, EBK?
Good. Just picked up the zip. About to just rolling up.
Okay. 11 o'clock.
But yeah, I was tapping in, listening.
California
to what you guys
dispensaries are a lovely thing.
Yeah, $120.
He's got that flag back there that lets us know that he can.
Yeah, so you're not confused. Everybody in the chat saying, "Hey there, ABK."
Hello. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any stories like to where I could relate of me getting like close abducted or like with aliens or what.
No, we cover a little bit of everything. You don't have to come in with aliens.
No. If there's no aliens, I'm not interested, man. Get out of here. You ain't dealt with aliens. Get them out
of here. No, I love hearing the stories though. Hell yeah.
Well, how about time travel? If you ain't got alien stories, how about time travel stories? You got those?
Like the Mandela effect type stuff. I mean, give
me your best. I like that, Road. Give me your best Mandela effect that you can can point out to in your life.
The Berenstain Bears.
Berenstain Bears.
What's the one about the Bernstein Bears? I haven't heard that one.
Berenstain or Bernstein?
Bernstein, right?
How do you spell
it? That's the Mandela effect. Bernstein or Bernstein?
Oh, that was.
It's
Bernstein.
To me, it was always Bernstein, but now it's Berenstain.
When there were bears, why wouldn't it be Berenstain?
I thought that was the author of the author that wrote. I thought his last name may be Bernstein.
Oh, that's possible.
No, that's
I like the route you're going. That's a better question to ask.
Yeah, I don't know.
We have the occasional alien. Yes, Mud Rabbit, we do.
Especially on Thursday nights. That comment right there, especially on Thursday nights.
Yeah. I mean,
see, Berenstain, right? But there's another one where it's spelled with AIN and it's BEAR, and they just changed the name, but that's not what it was originally.
Well, what if it's Bernstein or Bernstein?
Yeah. Well, that's just pronunciation, and that would be an inversion of the E and the I, and that can be whatever. Tomato, yeah. But see, those little things are what they try and pick up on and let us know that they're fucking around with time. So what do we do if we know the others are screwing around with the timeline, trying to get their best objective out there? Do we have control over that? Do we have control over those who have control over that? What the basis of my book? What do we have control of?
that's the best thing to talk about, because most people try to control things that none of them have control of, that are way out of their control, and they want to worry about
control of. We have control of ourselves.
And that's it.
Period.
And your immediate, like your immediate family, you have a little control of that.
And you control. Hey,
to a certain extent. To a certain extent, and it's more just guidance. It's actually not control.
But see, that's not control. I can control myself. I can decide.
But you can control somebody with. But you can control somebody with advice or guidance as well.
That is not control. That is.
Even if it's positive, it's still manipulation.
Guidance, yeah.
See, the problem is that you're right. One person can control another by going, "Yo, give me your money right now, man. Give me your money." All right. Do you want to? No, but you're going to do it because he controls you. Okay. But that is a negative impact when we control others. Why? Because this entire reality was created for free will. And the one present that God gave us was free will. And so to take away that free will is to take away the gift that God gave us. Now, he asked us to stay within discipline and certain guidelines and everything else. We can do whatever we want, but the consequences are our own. Okay. So whenever people try and manipulate and control others, I personally have a problem with that. You know, whenever people try and denigrate or destroy, I also have, because both of those are aspects of the adversary, the guy that we're fighting against. Why? Because the way that we're supposed to be fighting, the way that we're supposed to be influencing the world around us is generosity, peace, love, and understanding. But with justice and understanding the things that, dude, you can't let freaking murderers and thieves go around and continuing to do what they want to do. That's not being merciful. That's being stupid. Okay?
Michael, you know what I have a problem with? You know what grinds my gears? What grinds my gears?
I don't know. What grinds your gears, man?
What grinds my gears is, have you ever heard of tobacco? Well, not tobacco. Have you ever heard of alcohol abuse? Somebody's at their party. They're a little too drunk off their rocker, and they knock over somebody's cup. Have you ever heard of something like that?
You're lying. That don't happen.
Well, when you create this party foul, it kind of reminds me of tobacco abuse. Like these people, they buy blunts and they hollow out the blunts rather than just buying a wrap. Why don't you just buy a wrap? Why you gotta abuse tobacco like that?
Just throwing it away.
EBK, what do you have to say about this?
I throw that shit out. I quit smoking cigarettes since COVID started, man. But this is the closest thing I get to nicotine. It's a blunt wrap.
No, tobacco's not good for you. I can't pretend it is. The only thing I find interesting is that the Indians were able to smoke tobacco for a long period of time and never had the same problems that we do in the U.S.
The additives, man. The additives.
Oh yeah, makes a huge difference.
But I had a question too. So back to what you were saying earlier, Michael, I believe your name was. Do you believe that the government or religion is a type of control from the government? When you're talking about control,
depends on what religion. You have to be specific. I think some religions,
religion or government.
Okay,
who's controlling who, and why, and what's their
and it varies. It also varies.
The Ten Commandments. It's simple.
Well, no. Let's use Christianity for a vague example.
Yeah.
Depending on the president.
Can't we talk about Islam?
Stop.
No.
Depending on the president, depends on if he's pushing Christianity or not. The reason that George Bush went into the Middle East is because he wanted to push Christianity on other people and get.
Are you fucking serious?
And get oil money. Yeah, that's 100%. He was trying to definitely push. He was definitely trying to push a Western ideology.
I believe that 100%.
Western ideology is not necessarily Christianity. They do not go hand in hand. Now you cannot.
I would say it's quite
of the Italian economy that
for the majority. Listen,
culture.
For the majority of the American existence, the main religion in the U.S. has always been Christianity. The number one on the planet is not Christianity. I'll admit to that.
What is the number one on the planet then?
I believe it's Islam.
Really? More
Yeah.
than Catholic? Oh shit.
Yeah, I think Catholicism is second, especially in Europe and the Middle East.
Than anything else?
No, surprisingly, especially modern day. I have to pull it up now because I haven't looked at these statistics in a while. I want to pull them up now.
Let me ask you a question now that we mentioned because
number one religion in the world.
Because it's easy to attack Christianity because that's the one that they all like to attack, and therein comes in your question.
That's the one. That's the one I know the most about.
Really? Do you think you do?
Okay, so 2020, they have new 2020 stats that I haven't read. I will share them so everybody can see them. But Christianity is actually on the top of the list currently in world stats. Let me see. So I want to make sure everybody knows I'm checking my sources and not just blabbing.
Yeah, I was about the fact.
Islam is in second. Secular,
and it has a
then
faster growth rate than
Hinduism.
Christianity.
There's 18 more rows. Buddhism isn't anywhere in the top 5, I bet.
So what's the third one?
Secular and something else. Hold on. I'm going to pull up the whole list.
I think it's atheist. Yeah, I saw atheist.
Christians, Muslims, irreligious and atheists, Hindus, Buddhists are 6th on the list.
What do Hindus believe?
Damn. That's a trip.
Hinduism is like the Mahabharata, and isn't that like Shiva and down those roads? I'm pretty sure.
I don't know enough. I know they like.
I'm pretty sure that Shiva and
I actually have the elephant in mind. I forget what the elephant's name is. Mud Rabbit, please, if you could tell me what the elephant deity in Hinduism is. Shiva is the goddess of destruction and creation and that sort of thing, which is why CERN has her there. But that's just, I mean,
well, and I know, and I've listened, and that's what I think the Sumerian texts are actually based on. Is some of the people? Oh no, I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think when you talk about like, especially the way that Zechariah Sitchin explained the world, the battle of the planets. All the planets were named after specific gods in all religions, and that's why I mean, unless you believe in a secular god, I could see how you could be confused by all the other things.
See, Zechariah Sitchin was able to decipher the Sumerian codes and the Sumerian text. Yeah. That's what he's famous for.
But there's a lot of different interpretations of the Sumerian text.
Sumerians influenced the Egyptians, and we get that flowing through that. And there have been various interpretations of the text that Sitchin himself translated, other slightly different translations, but more or less the same fucking story. And those influence the story of Gilgamesh that supposedly influenced the Hebrews. And in others, we get this construction of society saying that, oh, these are the things that society believes, and they're all real. And we just create our own little control realms in different areas. If I were to tell you that Islam was created by the Catholic Church, would you fucking flip? But anyway. That'd be another story.
I would feel like most religions are based off of Judaism. When you think of modern religions, and then we have base texts that we can relate to with religions that are older than Judaism, with like the Sumerian texts or emerald tablets, or something like that.
The Vedic texts go back more than 5,000 years.
Did you catch Terry's comment, EBK?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was zoning out. I haven't seen it, but I have weed maps. I could look for
weed maps. Tell us about these weed maps in California.
I'm sorry, Terry Hopper. I thought the Hopper Reserve was yours, man, but no, it's Dennis Hopper, which is pretty fucking cool. But Dude, that would be sweet. The Hopper Reserve.
That would be a nice little plug.
Terry's own blend.
Hell yeah, I'll look that up.
Honestly, Terry, I would have to ask you, hey, why don't you come bearing gifts when me and you hang out then? Like when me and you hang out, I shouldn't be the only one bearing gifts. Come on.
Holy shit.
It's all love.
No, me and Terry ran into each other at a live event, and I was like, oh, me and Terry both like to partake. I assume he's going to share with me, and he's going to bring something. I brought something for Terry, and he didn't bring nothing for me. And I was like,
oh, he's a ref. He can't.
Gotta share, brother.
He's a ref. He can't. Yo, California, it's still
no.
What the hell's going on there?
We definitely enjoyed our time together.
Shit, what time is it? 7:18.
7:18.
So it's 9 here.
Yeah, 501c3 Mud Rabbit is referring to religious organizations. If they subscribe to a 501c3, they have certain restrictions as to what they have to say because they receive benefits from the government. So the government gets to tell them what to think or act in certain places. Ganesha, thank you. That's the Ganesh is the elephant god in Hinduism. Mud Rabbit, you're freaking awesome. I love
Thank you, Mud Rabbit, for pointing out the elephant in the room that we were trying to refer to.
So do you follow Hinduism or just parts of it?
Yeah, no, I do.
Okay.
I do. I try to study all. I try to study all religions.
Yeah, every religion has something good in it. I feel like.
So I keep two statues. Two statues on my shelf behind me. It is this one.
Oh,
Ganesh.
Yes, and then she sits right next to my man Pondering Jesus.
You put them both there.
Yeah, I gotta get a Satan one to put between them. Trying to keep it separate. Gotta keep them separated.
Gotta have the balance. You can't believe in Jesus without Satan.
Oh no, I try to keep my whole religious
that's fine.
shelf
okay, fine. I'll
laid out nice and well.
Yeah, well, see, I've also got my Mayan statues there and everything else. However, they all exist and they all coexist, and that's fine. Which one do you follow?
Which one do I follow? I don't feel like
I don't want to know it specifically.
No. It's easy. It's easy to explain that, but I feel like it's easy to explain that.
I was going to, but see, the one that each one chooses is the one that's going to influence their actions on a day-to-day level, and so you need to find out how those influences influence their actions with other individuals in their life. And so that's what I'm saying. The influences that a belief system will have on you has an impact on how you impact society and how society in general is impacted by that.
But I think that has to do with your interpretation of the belief system.
Yeah, exactly. So,
because if you look at how many different versions of Christianity there is, look at how many different versions of Christianity there is.
Yeah, but what did Christ himself say? There should be no denominations, which means those Christians aren't following Christ.
Exactly.
They're not following his words.
And it's the same ideology of
dogmatic structure. They are
what's it called? It's the idol worship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly that. It's not an understanding of God or what Jesus actually means and what he came here to accomplish, what he taught us, what he leads us to be and do. Okay.
Islam does have similarities too, which is interesting.
Well, because the thing is that
I'm convinced Jesus was
he tried to sell it to the Jews. They didn't like it. Then he took stuff from the Hebrew text and the Jews and tried to force it on everybody else, because the ultimate evolution of the belief system that particular individual created was that you must dominate by force and enforce your will on them, because this belief system is the only one that can be accepted.
Well, and I'm convinced that the people that think of Jesus the guy that everybody thinks of as Jesus, actually went to Islam and also China in some of his missing years. And people don't like
How about
to
India?
refer to it. India as well. I think he traveled through a lot of different places.
Possible. We don't know about those times. All I know
I
is
think we 100% do know about those times, and there's records of them. We just don't like to acknowledge them in the Christian religion.
I haven't seen a lot of those records. That's why I mentioned India, because
I can pull them up right now. You need to see this. I'm surprised you haven't dug into this. Oh my gosh. Jesus used to travel. But anyway, go on while I pull that up.
No, my travels are what made me who I am. I mean, I'm living in the south of Brazil and have little or no interaction with society anymore. However, the profundity of my perception comes from my many travels, almost 30 countries, and integration in various different cultures to understand who people are and how people are. So yeah, those travels are extremely important, and they change your concept of reality. It's the programming that I mentioned. I mean, I started out with the fact that growing up in Mexico City and in Guthrie, Oklahoma, you get different perspectives of reality. There are different value structures in each one of those societies, and you got to be okay with both of them and understand that both of them work, but where they're at. Okay. And you expand that to New York, Chicago, or Dallas, or Miami, or Denver, or LA, and Paris, and Frankfurt, and Luxembourg, and Milan, and Rome, and Switzerland. They all have a different perspective, but they're all
You've been to all
along
those
the
places?
same lines.
Oh,
wow. I've been to a few more, but those were the more ones that I want to mention. In that particular case, yeah, they have a structure. They have a Christian structure, which allows stability for everything else to grow. The freedom for people to, okay, fine. We plant the seeds. We don't obligate people to do it unless you were the Spanish in the 15th century when you burned people at stake when they didn't believe what you were supposed to believe. That's not what our guide and teacher tells us. Now, what we do is we get away from them. And if they are there, we expel them from our lands. We don't kill them. We just get the fuck out there. Do whatever the fuck you're going to do, but do it out there. Don't do it around me, and I ain't going to be doing your shit. Just let me be, and you do your shit. That basic ideology is Christian.
what about eye for an eye?
Others, huh?
Eye for an eye, wasn't that?
Okay, that would be Judaism, and that also is in Islam, and there's also in others, and that goes back into the Arabic. Oh God, now I forgot that. There's this law that. The Arabic law or something like that. All right, it's up.
So let me go through
but the
this
customs,
a little bit.
how beneficial are those customs to?
Okay, so it touches on a little bit of everything we talked about. That he grew up in Nazareth,
born in Bethlehem, grew up in Nazareth, engaged in itinerant ministry throughout Galilee, Judea.
And then it touches on the missing years. It touches on the missing years that we talked about. And the gap in time. And then I wanted to jump down to Jesus in Britain. According to a popular legend, Joseph of Arimathea, Arimathea, okay. The member of, can you pronounce that? Sanhedrin, who buried Jesus in his tomb, had gone on to found the Christian Church of Britain. Specifically, Joseph is claimed as the founder of the Church of Glastonbury, maybe? A town in the southwest England, not far from Bristol, or of the many popular books that advance this claim was written by Lionel Smith
Lewis.
Okay. and it goes on to talk about a little bit more, but he was mentioned in Romans 16:10.
Simon the Zealot.
Yes. So Paul, possibly Peter, Lewis, also thought there might be some truth in the strange tradition that Joseph took Jesus as a youth to England with him during one of his business trips there as a tin merchant. Quite a few other books have been written defending this claim.
We'll stop right there and we'll read. This is extremely interesting, and it makes absolutely it opens. Joseph of Arimathea is the rich man's tomb where Jesus was buried.
Yeah.
He had it just there reserved.
He claimed to the body.
It's not being used.
Basically.
It was never used for anybody. And Jesus was buried in Joseph of Arimathea's tomb. Now, did he have things in England? I'm sure. There's another thing that somebody was discovering. There's a passage that I used to cite a lot about legend, which is the demons that possessed this guy, and they cast him out into the pigs, and the pigs ran. The problem is that nowhere in the Israeli lands will you find pigs, because pigs are considered as impure and dirty, and so they destroy them. So there are no pigs. So where the fuck were these pigs that he cast the demons out into? And
I knew Rocco would show up. I just saw Rocco pop into the screen.
But there's a difference between pigs and wild boars. You can't control wild boars, right? Like,
there can be described that we see a difference. There's not necessarily a difference temporally, because
there's a huge difference when it comes to controlling wild boars. That's why we have Gary Busey flying around on a helicopter with a machine gun, shooting them in Texas. This is a regular practice because of the overpopulations.
There was this archaeologist who was trying to decipher Jesus' footsteps, and he found this place in the south of Spain, to where they have this old religious sect that's Jewish and that sort of thing, because they continued what was in Jesus' time. And there are some footsteps there that they claim are, Jesus' footsteps in clay at the time, and they end up preserving it because it is what it is. And there in Spain, yes, you do have black boars, and you do have the large cliffs to where the boars can jump off and to their death into the ocean. And so during that trip was this large storm, and everybody was scared and everything else. And you really don't get that in the Sea of Galilee, which is everything around Israel. But you do get that in the Mediterranean. In fact, the Iliad and the Odyssey were written about the storms in the Mediterranean. 10 fucking years lost trying to get back home to Greece after getting lost in the storm and visiting all those fucking islands.
There was a lot of other involvements than just that storm.
Well, okay, fine.
There's a lot more seated than that.
Read those books. Go to college. That'll be the first thing that you got to read when you go to college, and you'll get.
I've already read the Iliad and the Odyssey, and I read them before college.
Okay, well,
they're good. They're good pieces of work that I advise on everybody. And it's that same. I think the Iliad and the Odyssey are a good example of the telephone game. That's exactly what it is, and because of the format that it was told in.
Right. You lose details and other things.
Yeah,
and they get exacerbated in other.
Yeah.
In other
however, those storms were mythical in the Mediterranean and that sort of thing, and that's what actually happened on that boat there when Jesus went there. So there are times where I would believe Jesus was in the south of France. Did he go to England? That would explain why he would have gone to the south of France, because he heard about the people that were having problems there, and he wanted to visit them.
What do you guys? Did you see Mud Rabbit's? Did you see Mud Rabbit's thing about the Shroud of Turin? The Shroud of Turin. Sorry.
I don't know. Yeah, I know the Shroud of Turin. That was his. The reason it's burned the way it is because lasers didn't go in; they came out of the body. In other words, the light came out of him and imprinted his image on his death shroud when he came back from death.
How realistic are you, Michael? Do you think he was Middle Eastern?
He was. But what's Druze? I don't know what Druze is, Mud Rabbit, so I apologize. You know more than I do, so I'm always learning with you.
I feel like it was a Middle Eastern community back in the time.
Yeah, he's Jewish.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't he Jewish though? Like, are most Jews
Yeah,
back
but I
then
mean, you
Middle
just gotta
Eastern?
you gotta figure the location. There wasn't a lot of white Jews in the area at the time.
Well,
Huh.
you think he's going to be blonde hair and blue eyed? No,
No, I think they made him out to be black haired and blue eyed, and I don't think the American interpretation of what Jesus is very accurate.
I don't have blue eyes. All right.
And you're not Jesus. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about the depiction of Jesus.
The population of the planet has brown fucking eyes. So the probability is that he had brown fucking eyes. Oh,
I would have said brown eyes are a sign that you're full of shit. So maybe
I said that my entire life. I mean, what? I don't know. I just read this stuff.
I'm just joking with you.
I know I can make holograms. That I can do. I know because I've done it.
Why do you think he wasn't a Jew? I'm convinced.
Lebanon.
I'm still convinced he was Jewish. Well, just because he is from Lebanon doesn't mean he couldn't have been raised Jewish, though. His family could have had a different ideology. It just wasn't common to the area.
See, the thing is that the Jewish religion is carried on by the mother, not the father. Otherwise, Islam and Jewish will be the same fucking religion. But anyway, or the same lineage. Anyway, but yeah, see, she's coming back with the fact that his DNA came back as Druze. So Druze would be from the mom.
Didn't they say with the last DNA analysis that there might have been some swapping going on and some cross contamination? Because I believe that they're trying to redo it.
But think about this: his DNA is going to be God and Mary. So the predominant one is going to be Mary. Where did Mary come from?
Why would he have dominant DNA from Mary?
That's his.
Oh, you didn't define which Mary. There's a lot of Marys in the Bible.
Mary, Mother of God. I mean, holy fucking shit!
The Virgin Mary.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, but there's only one that's trying to be the
Virgin
quadrangular fourth part of the omnipresent.
There's a Virgin Mary and there's a slut Mary in the eyes of Christianity. Yeah, you gotta make sure to define the two.
Hold on. The virgin gave birth to the kid, and the slut gave birth to the legend. She lived in France. Okay, so one is where he came from. The other one is what he decided to do.
She finished in France.
Yeah, along with him and his lineage.
Yes.
The DNA coming back as Druze would mean that, yeah, she was in but where were the Essenes from? They weren't from Lebanon. The Essenes weren't from Lebanon because the Essenes are where they found the Dead Sea Scrolls. Okay. So, hey, Elaine, welcome back. So now we're on the Dead Sea Scrolls. The three wise men came from the east. And so one of them
I thought they came from all over.
No, they came from the east.
Because I thought they've always been depicted as different nationalities coming together. Kind
of thing. Came from different areas of the east.
Well, yeah, everything's east of there, but that they came from. But I'm just saying that's vague. They came from this direction.
Everyone came from.
There were princes and kings. There were princes and kings from certain areas. There were not.
There's a lot to be unpacked there. Because first of all, they weren't princes and they weren't kings. They were wise men. They were shaman. They were people who watched the stars. They were the ones who knew the interactions of the stars and what was to come. And they saw constellations that told them, wait, I have to go over here because the creator God, which even the Sumerians recognize, whenever Enlil fought with Enki, why did you allow those guys to survive the devastation that we had for them? No, because the creator God wanted them spared. In other words, in all of them, he is in control, period. The end.
I'm gonna let you field this one, Michael. This is a good one.
Oh man, okay. See, it wasn't just she's in a scene. She's from the Dead Sea Scrolls, which means it's around the Dead Sea. But Joseph was then Drew's. He shouldn't have that DNA in there because it was an immaculate conception. Fuck, Mud Rabbit, why do you do this to me, babe? I mean, holy shit. Yeah.
Isn't it true
That
that
is a loaded rabbit hole like a motherfucker, let me tell you. That is a loaded rabbit hole like a motherfucker. All right. What are they? Cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance. Go Ed DZ, take it over from here right now because I'm going to be down for a minute after that one. Holy crap. All right. Yeah. All right. So we get back to the message. How am I going to save this? Why? Because I still believe in Jesus. I still believe in Revelation. I still believe in the books in the Bible that were edited to his. And there are many that argue with me and think that I'm a fool. And I would say that there is a passage in the Bible that says I prefer to be a fool in the eyes of man than a fool in the eyes of God. So in those cases, I sort of, for example, there was a matrix that Einstein himself created to where he put in, if you believe in God and there is a God, you have one answer. If you believe in God, there is no God, you have another answer. If you don't believe in God and there is no God, you have another answer.
Oh my gosh.
And if you
no. Hold on a second. I just realized who just popped into the chat. Oh my God. Hey, it's an honor to have you here, man. I'm going to let you on just because I recognize you from your face because I do follow you. All right, cool. And I want to hear your perspective because I know you're about to troll. I know you're about to troll everybody on this channel. Is it Kwame? I want to make sure I pronounce it right. Give me a nod if I'm pronouncing it right. I can't hear your voice yet. Give me a nod if it's Kwame. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it right.
Yeah, he said yeah.
Okay, cool.
Kwame Brown.
Yeah, Kwame's got a channel. You guys should follow him. I'm actually a big fan.
Yo, Holmes.
Kwame, how we doing tonight?
Right on me. What?
Oh, he might be timing out.
Can everyone see that?
I don't know what it said.
You. I can't see anything. I can hear you though.
The old busted bus. We doing the work.
What did it say?
What the fuck?
I can't even see your. I don't know why your face isn't coming up. Are you sharing? Are you sharing the stream at the same time?
He's trying to share a document that's everything's freaking up.
But no, I saw Kwame go on and do this live the other day, and he came on as like this Southern guy, and he had like a patriot. He had like a rebel flag in the background, and everybody in the chat was convinced he was trolling. And I wasn't sure. I was trying to watch and figure out what he was doing.
No, I was just figured out, but I want to see him. You got to show your face, Kwame. What's up?
I don't know why. I don't know why his
Good morning
stuff's not
to
coming
everyone. Up. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Kwame, I don't know why you're not coming up on the stream. Are you sharing a live stream? Is that why it's not coming up? I can't. Can you see this on the screen?
Everyone see that?
I can see you in the background, but I can't see you on the screen. And I got your audio.
He's the administrator. I can't see squat.
Kwame, I hope you're not messing with me. I'm gonna pull it up if it's a screen share, because if I pull it up on a screen share on StreamYard, I can see it. But I hope you're not trying to take my channel down for no reason. But I'm gonna pull it up.
With Miss Angela Stanton again. Maj Teray. Who are these beautiful young ladies right here? Hold on, let me get full screen.
See anything?
Oh, I'm up there with some more doctors. Tammy, I know you're gonna be upset because they're white, but there's some black brothers over there too. Okay.
Oh, I'm so confused right now.
Everything I do, Lord. Jeez.
See, I understand because
well, I started following Kwame not too long ago. I don't know.
Self talk is back. Yeah, I gotta play a video from Self Talk.
He must be on a live right now.
I gotta sign up to that Patreon now that I'm back.
He's got 3,000 plus followers. I'm kind of happy he's on, but I don't understand how he's on the live stream with us. Because he's talking to his chat
on Saturday.
He's showing us to everybody else. I mean,
yeah. The old busted bus. We ain't just talking on the internet.
He's not talking to us.
No, he's talking to his chat. He's got way more followers than me. He's a nice guy.
I know you're watching. Hey, girl.
But we got to go to his channel.
You want to hang on to every word I say.
I'm actually in there. What the hell he's talking about?
First, I'm dumb.
Well, I can pull him up on the side screen.
That's cool, brother. That's real cool. But we need to put this thing to bed because I see now you don't do no work. All you want to do is run your mouth, and all you want to do is get YouTube views, and that's cool. But I didn't say, your excuse for getting out of the competition. You talk about how much money I made. Somebody sent me your live and said, he made over $100 million. We're supposed to compete with an NBA player that made over $100 million.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why he's sharing us on the live. I wouldn't mind talking to him, but
that would be cool. But if he talked to us, not talking to the live,
yeah, no,
I think he's
busy.
Talking to us through that live. And we might be going over the thing because I had mentioned, and he wasn't an NBA player. Joe Rogan is an MMA fighter at one point.
I don't think like I said, I don't think he was talking about that. He's talking about some of the Discord in his chat. I was like I said, it's interesting because I actually do follow him on YouTube, and that's why I was saying it was super funny that he popped into here. Hopefully he messages me or something because I would have liked to know what he wanted to say.
I'm just after the views then. Sure.
Oh no, he wasn't talking about us. He was talking about something else that was related to his comment.
Yeah. Cool.
But like I said, I always push people to follow his stuff. He's got good work. I got it. Now I'm gonna pull up his channel just to see what it was.
Did you see this chat?
I follow his stuff.
Or is that just me and him?
What? Was he in the private? I didn't look in the private.
Yeah.
What did he say in the private?
You guys not that great. You're not a fan. B word. So evidently it wasn't a positive interaction.
Oh, yeah. Apparently he was just coming on to talk smack, I guess. I don't know.
If we're just after the views, and that's why somebody put us onto him.
Well, that's weird because so his site he's live right now because I really do follow him. I don't know if I would consider myself a fan, but it's Kwame Brown Bus Life. And he's got 2K people following him right now. I've just followed his work because I thought it was interesting.
Oh well.
But yeah, no, I do that oftenly, and I just follow people that I don't know that do lives and have something to talk about. Like I said, I've always been somebody that just wants to hear other people's perspectives. I'm gonna send him a little message on the live.
Yeah, you ought to see the private chat. It wasn't necessarily well, that's all right.
Hope you don't think I'm being mean or something. I was just trying to say hi, but I am a subscriber. I'm on your page now.
Yeah, it is what it is. But whatever. I'm Mud Rabbit. I missed some stuff by him.
Kwame, I'd love to have you in the chat, man, but I feel like you're being mean in the private chat, man. I'd love to talk to you. I just don't know what's going on, man.
Yeah, Mud Rabbit EBK. I don't know where he went.
Kwame Brown's live right now. He doesn't. I'm looking at Kwame Brown's live right now, and that doesn't even look like Kwame. Yeah. Kwame's usually sitting in his background. Oh no, that
I
is
don't know.
Kwame. I'm sorry.
think
I
he
apologize. I
clicked
just
on
looked at his live. Kwame, I'll let you on, man. I just don't want to. I don't want to have any. I don't want to have any problems or anything, man.
Then I seen a live that I didn't even comment on. This motherfucker pull out a big ass knife. Talking about you niggas in jail. Y'all know. Y'all used to stick knives like this up your ass. These big old knives. I say, what the fuck?
Hold up. We got.
I know you're on
his knife. Tell
I know
me,
you're on your
y'all
live.
know
How
what
you
the
doing,
time it
Kwame?
is. You stick this up your ass.
How you doing, Kwame?
Shaggy? Scooby? I said, I ain't gonna touch this one. I ain't real enough to know nothing about that shit. I was just holding down the holding cell and shit. When niggas was in there, it wasn't no fighting in the holding cell. Them niggas was so cold. Them niggas was in their shirts and shit.
I guess he's just trying to get followers. I don't know. He's not really typing anything in the.
But hey, it's a Thursday.
I mean, it's whatever. I guess I was trying to talk to him, but he didn't want to talk.
All right, well, one of his comments was, "I'm drunk. My bad." So that's cool. No worries.
I appreciate the. I appreciate the attention, Kwame.
Hey, absolutely. When he's
it looked like EBK dropped out. He was trying to figure out what was going on, probably too.
Yeah. It's
he's on Mud Rabbit. He's on his live chat, and like I said, I follow him on YouTube. He's live right now. You can go follow him. He's in that same position that he was in, saying the same thing. I just don't know why he clicked on our stream in order to say it.
Guys coming on the same. Two different guys coming on with the same name. That was bizarre. Anyway.
Oh yeah, no, he's got 2,000K people watching right now. I don't even know why he clicked on the live stream. I don't know if he did it. I mean, he might be drunk and just doing it on an accident, but
yeah. Well, how do you 2K? You know, I like to watch Marf every night.
Can you imagine 2K plus people fucking watching you? Like I couldn't even keep up with the chat. I wouldn't want to.
I know.
That's so much work.
You watch Marf's chat just flies by. You can't even read it.
But he literally popped on here twice. That's so weird. Like, not only did I disconnect him once because I realized he couldn't see me, but then I brought him back on and I was like, hey, maybe you can see me this time. I don't know. Then he type like a relevant chat for a second.
Don't need to be putting things. I mean, there's.
I mean, he's allowed to say those words on YouTube. I'm not. That's his own choice if he wants to use those words. I won't.
Yeah, but it's okay. But a shank doesn't have to be that big. I mean, come on.
Oh God. No, I mean, like I said, I thought it was weird. Like I don't know why. Well, I know he likes to troll people, so I could understand why he would go on and troll people.
Maybe he just got the wrong stream because he's going on various ones. Who knows?
Maybe.
I don't know. That's
just a guess on my end.
We can't control the weather. We can't control the government. We can't control Australia. We can't control China. We can't do. The only thing we can do is control how we interact or react to the environment around us and try to put out the most positive, constructive attitude. It's that stoicism. You get the idea of what you need to achieve and you just go through that, knowing that the rivers of the world are going to go around you, like Buddhism. You know, it's just everything's an illusion that's going around to distract you from where you need to go. And all this is a distraction from where we need to be, which is closer to family, closer to us, closer to being healthier, happier, and more complete and fulfilled human beings, which is what most people want to do anyway. You know, and that's the innermost focus that everyone has, no matter what religion, belief system, or everything else they gain from that. The thing is that Mud Rabbits tossed one in there that really fucked me up. That DNA. Science is science, man. I mean, yeah, people say you got to believe the science, got to take the VAC and that sort of thing. There's science and there's science, but there's science that, holy shit. All right.
That to me doesn't seem like the wrong StreamYard. He was messaging us in the private chat. Like if I showed you guys the private chat, I don't understand I don't understand what the point was of sending us wild messages in the private chat. Unless he was really that drunk that he thought he was texting on YouTube and was texting in our private chat.
He was probably that drunk, and he clicked on the because you have the StreamYard up there. He probably just clicked directly on that and thought he was in the chat. That's a possibility. If you're gone, man, that's just going to be the way it is. I mean, I have no experience with that. I have no idea of what that's like. I've never done that. And I'm just postulating, hypothesizing, and imagining the possibilities of what if.
Yeah. Who knows? Oh, gosh.
But anyway, Maria, now see, I'm surprised. You said in the chat that no, you don't drink. The fuck, you put in the wine glasses and everything else in the chat, but you don't drink.
She's 18 wine glasses in. She's 18 beers.
Bebes, que chingados. What the fuck?
Adios mío.
Oh, what are you gonna pull a Speedy Gonzalez on me now?
I didn't say andale, arriba. I said, oh, Dios mío. I said, oh, my God. They don't say that in...
No, they actually do.
Do they really?
Ay, Dios mío. Yeah.
Ay, Dios
mío. But it's the pronunciation, man. You got too much of a fucking white guy accent because you don't do anything outside of English. That's okay. It's normal. But it's ay, Dios mío.
Hey, Bryson, how you doing tonight? Talk to us a little bit in the private chat, and we'll let you on.
All right, Bryson.
New guest, Bryson.
That's cool. I
always know they're getting ready to do a screen share when, or they're on a live. I don't know why people are coming on me on a live, but it seems like they open up 2 pages on my StreamYard when they do it.
No, he's playing a game, but he's not live. All right, cool.
Yeah, okay, Maria. That's what they all say.
Hey, hold on. Jake, we cannot judge because after all, Alcoholics Anonymous must be anonymous for a reason. Okay. For example, I shouldn't be drinking anymore either for very good fucking reasons.
I'm playing.
Shouldn't be smoking anymore either.
And I talked to Peña. About health and wellness. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'll let Bryson on for a minute, and you can talk to Peña. Try to be nice about it.
I got it for like 30 seconds. I'll be on.
Oh no, you're fine. I'm gonna let Bryson on.
You will focus. Palaces can help cleanse energy and bring good energy in. It can also help if you have flu-like symptoms. It can help with all that stuff.
Hey,
Sage
Bryson.
Can help with
Bryson, you're live now.
Bacteria out of your surroundings. Sage also removes negative energy. Rosemary can help with your memory. You know, a lot of people don't be remembering a lot of stuff. So rosemary can help with your memory.
Rosemary's good for you.
Also, rosemary can help with your digestive system. So everybody just let me know, man, how y'all fucking with it, everything. And if you ordered your mug worth, we've been shipping out mug worth for like this whole week. So let me know if y'all ordered y'all mug worth, and let me know when y'all get them. When y'all get them, record videos, tag me in it so I can repost.
Bryson, I thought you said you weren't live.
With it, and let me know if y'all need any help on how to use it.
Bryson, I thought you said you weren't live.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all.
I'm so confused. I don't know why people are trying to. I'm so confused on what's going on. This is a weird new troll, but I appreciate
tonight,
it.
Jake. You're getting trolled tonight.
I appreciate it. Well, no, because they're not bad trolls. They haven't said anything bad.
No, well, except the last phrase from Bryson would be considerable in some.
But it's in the private chat. Because he doesn't know what he's doing.
Don't say that, regardless of whether it's private or not. I mean, that's just.
If he wants to say naughty things in a private chat that I'm not going to highlight and put on the internet, that's fine. I mean, think your thoughts.
I can write that.
I'm all about freedom of speech. Get you some. he got an ad out of that for rosemary. Like, who pushes rosemary? He's got a mug full of rosemary.
Oh, well, God. Hey, I mean, he could be doing that, but yeah, being slammed. But why? See, therein lies the question. Why would that be happening?
I'm just kidding. My hand's pretty steady. I'm good at the moment. I can't do that. I don't know if I can do the eye thing. Can you guys see my eyes? I'm doing the police test. How much am I skipping?
Not really, but why are you doing that? The fact that you're doing that automatically says that you got a problem.
Maria was asking me if I was drunk. You're the one that's drunk, Jacob. I said, no, Maria's the one that's drinking.
That's the thing, Maria. Only alcoholics don't get drunk easily. I can drink a case and still be okay. Why? Because it's like, why do you think that 007 asked it to be shaken and not stirred? Because stirred. Oh, okay. Possibly. But anyway, shaken, you break up the ice, which means you water it down. You get that vodka, but you don't really get it as well, actually it's a martini, so it would be gin.
Yeah, funny hillbilly looks like oh my gosh, we got all these fun people popping in. I just don't understand why we're getting attached to lives. He's making drinks in the background, but everybody's pulling up because I know they're live because it pulls up a separate screen, and they always try to say they're not live. Talk to me in the private chat, funny hillbilly. I like your name. Are you about to drink that out of a toilet? Is that a toilet paper roll? Oh my god. Oh god. Oh my god.
What is he doing? A mummy?
Can you see any of this?
I cannot see a damn thing. You are the administrator. I can only see what's live.
Okay, so I don't know why or what algorithm's doing this, but live chats or live streams are coming into my videos here in the bottom, and I can throw them on if I want, or I can choose to leave them in the background.
Okay, so it'll be a part of your show.
We've had three live streams that I've never heard of, besides the one I'm actually subscribed to. The first one, that one kind of confused me. I don't know what's going on. I'm super confused by it, but I like it. It's kind of entertaining. You bear drunk, and you are blaming innocent people like me. You said you were 18 beers in. Sorry, hold on. Let me highlight your message, Maria.
That was a Q question. That was actually a Q question because it's 18 bottles of beer on the wall, 18 bottles of beer. Take one down, pass it around. What do you have left over? 17 bottles of beer on the wall.
I thought you smashed it against the wall once you drank it.
Take one down, pass it around. There are less on the wall. What they do after they pass it around, I don't fucking know. Do they recycle it? They throw it out the fucking highway, the bus? You know, do they give it to the bus driver so he can hide it so he's not found drunk driving with a bunch of fucking adolescents drinking beer? You know?
Okay, we have another one. Gosh. Bryant, you don't got enough for me, man. You gotta give me a live picture or something. You just have an icon. Oh, he's live too. Bryant, how you doing tonight, man? He's live. He's talking to his audience.
So what is with that? They're not even coming.
I'm 100% confused by this. I don't know if it's because it's StreamYard and it's in the algorithm.
Right? He chatted that he's mad at us. Why? Because we didn't let him on because he's not saying.
No, these are all different people. These are all different people.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, Bryson was one. Now it's Bryant. But he's mad at us. Let us in. Yeah! I am the big bad wolf. I'm going to huff and I'm going to puff until I blow your house in.
Oh, yeah. He looks angry.
Exactly why I built
he looks kind of upset. He's got serious eyes. Look at him.
Serious eyes. Well, I can't look at him because I can't see it. But that's
why I can screen share him down there. Do you guys want me to screen share him so you can see his intensity?
That would be funny.
I'm curious to what's going on with his intensity.
I don't know. There's something that's going to be.
Just text in the chat, and then I'll know what you're saying. You can scream into a screen that I have no audio of. But if you're gonna go blue in the face doing that,
sorry.
but no, that's how I know they're live doing a rant or something. Is because there's actually a screen open next to them on StreamYard.
So,
well, and it's wild. He's actually sending me. I don't understand how he's sending me text. No, so whoever's trolling. All right, so now I'm starting to figure it out more. So I'm starting to figure it out a little bit more. Whoever's trolling is sharing other people's streams. That's why when I pulled them onto the live stream, it wouldn't pull up their face because they were sharing a screen. And remember the first guy? I asked him if he just dropped out when I said that because when I was sharing the first guy, his face didn't come up on the screen because I knew what was going on. Basically what they're doing is they're sharing other people's streams. But I'm glad that my troller and me, it's my regular troller. Oh, I see him now. He just gave me the finger. It's the guy that doesn't know how to use his green screen that likes to steal people's images in the chat. I prefer our regular troll, but I'm glad he gave us his present. It's I think he's a high schooler or a college kid. He's funny. Oh gosh. I'm gonna catch up with the chat a little bit.
Popcorn. I don't know if he's talking about the movie of Trolls or if the popcorn, because we got some comms that the corn is ready to harvest. So that's a whole nother story.
I live in DeKalb, corn capital of the U.S. Corn is not ready to harvest.
Wrong.
Did you miss anything? Yeah, Elaine, it's kind of confusing in here. I'm really confused because nobody else can see what I'm saying. And our regular troll that used to do different things, he came on with a new tactic tonight that was super funny. He was sharing other people's streams, and he was popping up in his own side video in order to get those streams on. And he was saying bad comments in the chat. It was super weird. I was so confused by what was going on.
This is a brave new world.
Right. I'm just trying to navigate it.
It's so bizarre. Now, that I want to go back to the popcorn. Because, that's associated with Arizona is on Monday. Yesterday, the Senate got a draft of what's going on. Yeah. What day is the 11th? Today's Friday, which is already Friday. So Saturday, the 11th.
Yeah, me and Elaine touched on that earlier, talking about is it the 20-year? September 11th. I'm not getting your audio.
If we know that they like to do this, then do we just play along, or do we try and go, oh yeah, that was predictable, and go on with our lives? And what is our lives? That's it. This entire World War III, this entire propaganda and war for our minds and is to distract us from what we need to do. Each individual. What is your life? All this other shit. You know what? Doesn't really fucking matter. Continue living your life. You need to live your life, and whoever impedes you from living your life is going to have a problem. That's why we need to get together, like in unions were originally. Why? Because together our voices should be heard of what we individually need. And for example, Ben Franklin once was famous for saying, look, what you do doesn't really fucking matter. It makes no difference in the big fucking scheme. But You need to do what you do. Otherwise, everything else crumbles and nothing fucking matters. In other words, each one of us has to do what we have to do. And all of us have to do it. Because if all of us don't do it, it falls apart. All right. So what's going to happen if everybody gets $1 million, $100,000 every year? All right, fine, great. Who's going to work? Who's going to produce the shit that we want?
The key is go out and do your local lottery and get your vaccination. Then you get all the money. Isn't that how it works? You go get vaccinated and you can win the lottery now. They have bribery systems put into place
that everybody's going to get from getting back the money from the thieves and the bankers and everything else. But that's a hypothesis.
I just thought it was interesting that the bribes have been going up over time. It started out with in Chicago, it was like a free beer at the bar, and then
but if
it turned into
so
like
beneficial to you,
$100,000 lottery.
To take it. If something is so beneficial for you, why do they have to bribe you to take it?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting question.
If it's something that's so destructive and deadly, then why are homeless people still homeless? And people,
Mud Rabbit.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you for that distraction.
Take flight and. Wow, come on. You actually like the argument? No. It's only if he tells me he's Hindu. Why are you Hindu? What is it about Hinduism? Explain profound on me your Hindu perspective, since I have done such with mine.
I got to think of a good controversial Christian question.
No, it's not questions. You got to tell me about Hinduism. Why do you like it? Why do you enjoy it?
I don't know enough about Hinduism. I don't practice Hinduism. I don't pretend to. I just study a lot of religions and like to understand the most that I can from all of them.
I've also studied Hinduism. I've also studied Buddhism. I've also studied Taoism. I've also studied the Vedic texts. I've also studied, the Sumerian texts, most of them. I've also studied the Dead Sea Scrolls. I've also studied the texts of Enoch and that sort of thing. And it all tells the same fucking story, but from different perspectives. And it depends on what effect you are going to have on the world. It's all about I'm going to be the greatest. Great, fine. Do what you got to do to be the absolute fucking greatest, because that people have been doing that for millennia, and there's a price to be paid to do that. Now, whenever the disciples were sitting around themselves, because they'd healed people, they'd cast out demons, and they were all, which one of us is going to be remembered more after all this is done? I want to be the biggest saint out of all of them, and all this kind of stuff. And they were arguing about who's going to be the biggest disciple in the history of books, because they're the guys who knew, Jesus and all this kind of shit. And the Son of God did what?
Hey, I got to talk to the private chat. Can you teach me how to Dougie? I feel like you might know how to Dougie. If you could, let me know.
I was just going to finish this one. What he did is he put a towel over his shoulder. He filled a basin full of water, and he began to wash their feet. Because he said, if you want to be the greatest, you have to be the smallest. Serve others. That is what we're here to do. Not serve the rich and not be slaves to the system. No, serve your common man. Expand the wellness through the universe, through your existence, through the people that are around you, through the ones that you can influence. Give them good ideas, give them decent ideas. If you do it, great. If you don't, fine, but you gave them the idea and maybe they'll do it. Somebody will put that energy out there. But it's better that idea than, let's go kill everybody, shoot everybody, you got to start, blow everything up, chaos, destruction, fear, we're all going to die. What's better? What's the better resonance that you want to put forward into reality?
So I'm talking to our regular troll in the private chat, and he's just sharing other people's streams and trying to get on the live and talking smack. Yeah, he even had to clarify. He's like, I'm in college, because I know he does this when he's in class. He just gets bored and trolls channels, and he decided to troll ours tonight. And so, like I said, I don't get mad about it, because I understand what he's doing, and he ended up liking our channel because he liked some of the stuff we were talking about, and kept talking to us one night. It was interesting.
Hold on, I got one thing here. The Mud Rabbit inspired me. I was going through the chat right now and said, "Wait for it." Okay, and I don't know exactly what share and everything else. However, she put in the Q Jeopardy tune here in the chat. And that is a very specific tune, because a Jeopardy tune is an exact time frame.
Ooh, yes, Mud Rabbit. Okay, so what should we name? We should probably put up a poll for this. What should we name our resident troll that likes to tune in? My first vote is Danny DeVito.
Spot. Call him Spot. Spock? It's got to be something easy.
Spot or Spock?
Spot. Spot. Like that shit staying on the corner of the carpet.
Skid mark.
Skitty.
Skitty. My boy Skitty. Coming in hot.
The skid mark coming in hot. You forgot his landing gear. Skitty. All right, sure. So now whenever we got those things going on, we go,
we can call him the runs, because he's in and out real quick.
I prefer Skitty.
Trolling the troll face.
That'll work.
Mud Rabbit like Spot.
Skitty. Skitty's good. That shit's staying in the corner, in the carpet in the corner.
But yeah, no, I actually don't mind the kid, because I thought it was interesting that he, like, the second he took a break from trolling, he like stopped and like listened to what we were talking about. He's like, kind of like your guys' conversation. He's like, you mind if I sit here? And he stopped messaging me in the chat at one point and was just listening to our conversation.
That's good. Maybe he grew, maybe he didn't. I don't know. On the 20th, Leo has set up again, after our diverse effects. Our webinar will go up again on the 20th of September. It is a full moon. That is something that Leo kind of insisted on, his preference, obviously. I believe that's a Monday. It could be a Sunday or a Saturday if we prefer different things, but everybody was okay with the Monday. I think it's going to be 4 o'clock my time, 3 o'clock Eastern time. But it'll be interesting.
Yeah, no, I haven't talked to
presenting there, but the other participants have a very interesting and dynamic perspective on the reality that we live in as well. And talking about what we talked about today, the programming, because the topic of the webinar is your reality. Is your reality holding you back? Spot. The rug shampoo.
Good dog.
That shit staying in the corner. Definitely. But I thought you got that with that night bot or something. Yeah, Spot is a very common name for a pet. That's why. I mean, dogs have any kind of spot. Dalmatians, you'll call them Spot every day of the week. So yeah, it's just common. That's why it was there. But Skitty, I think, is appropriate. So here, kitty, those little Skitty, because we know that it's a skid mark, but so that works. Either way, That would be denigrating, negative, and all that kind of stuff. And the energy that we want is positive and elevating and preparative. If we know that shit's going to hit the fan, what do we do to make sure it doesn't land all the fuck all over us? The chit chat's good, Maria. Thank you very much, and I'm glad you enjoy it sober. And I'm actually more impressed that she actually enjoys this sober. So yeah,
don't believe her lies.
Oh, I get you. Yeah, Mud Rabbit, you're right. So we're all learning with all this. It's all a learning progress, getting into the third millennia, the new reality of existence, and the new form of cybernetics. For example, getting back to that point, where do we end? We keep adding different body parts, but we're still us, essentially. What? Because we have the brain. Later on, they found that you have to have the brain and the heart. Then you get into General Grievous. But is he really him? He depends on the people that are willing to give him the spare parts for him to continue living, and he'll do their will in order to continue living more powerfully with 6 arms and 2 legs and being able to walk on walls.
I kid.
No, you're not.
Don't give me that.
No, I mean, you're not kidding. That's not kidding. You know you're talking real. Don't be smacking now.
It's for real. I play for keeps. I play for keeps.
Everything is. Because every second that you spend, it's keeps. You can't take it back. It's done. What you said, what you've done is done. There's nothing you can do about it. Pay for it later on, or somebody else willing to pay for it as long as you decide that they're right. You go under a credit card. Do you want to take the risk and decide that you're capable of saving yourself? Go ahead. Buddha did that.
Not picking up your audio. You're talking away.
I mumble. That's something I learned from my grandfather.
Enunciate, young man. Enunciate.
Yeah, I get into my deeper thoughts and conversations, and it just sorts of draw. I need a microphone because I'm talking into a laptop. So yeah, a microphone.
I'm doing the same thing. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, but you don't mumble.
According to you, I'm drunk and I should be slurring and mumbling.
You do slur, but you don't mumble. There's a difference. And I didn't say you were drunk. No. At no point did I mention that. Why? Because we can handle our liquor. That's what we are. But still, that's the whole thing. Whenever they were questioning Jesus, but your disciples, they drink and that sort of thing. We're not supposed to drink. It's not about the drinking. It's about the stupid shit you do when you get drunk. That's the whole fucking point. How much?
It's the gluttony. It's the gluttony in anything.
But for example, there was a.
I feel like drunk is a great example of gluttony, though.
It's not just gluttony. The thing is that your inhibitions drop, and so it's not just gluttony. You can do anything. For example, in the University of Texas, they had this saying that said A&M was a competing university, and so they denigrate the other university, and so they said. How does an A&M girl get a date? She goes, "Oh, I'm so drunk," because it's the whole thing, to where you do questionable things when you're drunk. Period. The end. And it's those questionable things that always drunk driving. You've got people that are just extremely emotional whenever they're drunk. Those angry drunks, those violent drunks. It's the stupid shit you do when you're drunk, which is the big fucking problem. My benefit is that I'm the sleepy drunk. I get drunk and I go to sleep, so I don't fuck all. But that doesn't justify it.
Strangely, I think for me, it's a psychological thing. I don't know why, but when I drink clear alcohol, I consider myself more aggressive than I am with dark alcohol. I don't know why.
Every single one of them, and beer and wine will have a different effect on you as well. Each one of the spirits will have a different effect on your life. There's a reason why 100 years ago they called them spirits.
I mean, it's not 100 years ago. They still call them spirits. I like that I have all the spirits in my life.
It's not as prevalent today to call alcohol spirits. Okay. Not many people are going to know that. You do because you're a little bit more educated.
Yeah. They didn't really smoke as much. I mean, in the Bible, they used a lot of THC oils and like rubbed them on people's skin. And they actually, it was more absorbent. That's where you saw THC in the Bible.
Anointing oils, because the cannabinoids will have a more soothing effect on.
I try, Maria. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to offend. I don't mean to.
See, but therein, Maria. Let me explain something to you. It's something that Democrats are doing on a constant basis, and that sort of thing. It is called.
Hey, let's not take sides. Let's not blame.
It's called mirroring. When we have certain tendencies, we have a tendency to believe that others have those tendencies as well. If you drink, you think other people will drink, or it's okay to drink. If you smoke, you think other people should smoke, and it's okay to smoke. If you like to give up your bosom or whatever, and you think that other people think that's okay too, and so you have this mirroring effect on other reality, and you mirror that onto other people, and sometimes we blame them for things that we ourselves are guilty of. That's just a Freudian effect as well. Kane bosom, that one I don't know what it is, and
that's the term in the Bible that they used.
Oh, for cannabinoids,
which is interesting. Well, when you always get that Kenna type pronunciation, that is a type 2, the canna plant or the Kenna plant, depending on how you pronounce it. It's
Buddha
interesting.
Supposedly sat under a tree eating seeds.
Well, I think that actually is more comparable to like what's it called, angel's trumpet, or other things like that, like Deferium, or I can't think of the actual name. But there's a lot of different trees and plants that have these qualities that we don't necessarily.
Like the acacia bush that Joe Rogan says was responsible for Moses's trip.
The acacia bush is high in DMT. There's a chance that if you burned a small amount of it next to you, you could definitely have visions.
What if you burn an entire fucking bush?
Especially if you're sitting next to a bush while it's burning. I mean, I just in the state of Illinois, in a county over, there's an island that they were growing a bunch of marijuana on. That's right next to my campground that I go to on a regular basis, and they have like a community area next to that island where they have everybody gather. And there was, 300 plus plants on the island, and they had to burn them all down. And the people that burnt them down were talking about it. They were like, they felt the effects of it, and they were like, yeah, it was kind of wild. We had that even with our respirators, we still felt something. And I was like, well, that makes sense. I mean, there's some potent plants around you. Very understandable.
And they're burning them, so they shouldn't have an effect whatsoever, right?
And there's the famous story of who's the guy? He put on a respirator to go into an acid lab during a raid, and in order to get the respirator to seal right, you have to shave prior to putting it on. And he didn't have any shaving cream, so he did a dry shave before he went into this lab, and ended up absorbing more than 60 hits of acid, of lysergic acid. And I was like, oh wow, like they had him in a hospital in an isolated room for 4 days because
he was tripping balls, man. 60 fucking hits. He's lucky he came back, man.
It's wild. It's wild that people don't respect these chemicals and these ingredients the way that they should be, because they are at a different level.
Well, hey, the Bible tells us about pharmakia. All right, she's telling you to behave.
She always tells me to behave. She doesn't know what to do with me.
But
she's the naughty one, but she tries to act like I am.
Hey, quit mirroring. Quit mirroring. You're the naughty one. You want to mirror onto her that she's naughty. You know, they talked about Russia collusion when in reality
Welcome to my
Chinese
echo chamber. Deal with my consequences. This is my echo chamber. If I want to mirror, I'll mirror.
This is right. Maria, come onto my channel, and whenever I make one video every 5 months, we can talk in the chat. Actually, sorcery was what they translated pharmakia as. So whenever we say sorcery, they're actually talking about alchemy, and they're talking about big pharma, which is one of the things that is problematic now, which is something that he was telling us about before. You know, and we got fentanyl problems coming in through the border, and that is also a chemical problem, a pharmaceutical problem. We also have an opioid crisis that was caused by excess production in Afghanistan by the CIA. That is also pharmaceutical based abuse of the system. They're willing to make billions off the death of others. So why wouldn't they do the fucked up shit that they're doing now to the planet? No reason. They have no history of doing that before. We should trust them completely and implicitly with our lives.
Well, yeah, that's the process.
Lord Fauci tells us we must, so we must.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Where's the tea bags going into the bay? We need tea bags going into the fucking bay.
No, the tea bags are going into your forehead, and you're going to listen to what Fauci has to say. Oh, God. Ugh.
We're not the men of 1776, and that's why we're going to take a mark.
Throw it overboard.
That's what we got to do. Throw it all the fuck overboard. No, I ain't taking your shit. I don't want your tea with the taxes and shit that you put on top of it. No, you can fucking keep it. Yeah, it's Peña Perspective. Actually, I'll
same as the name. Nice and easy.
But I'll get into.
If you jump in the chat, I'll share your whatever message you write. So Maria, just a heads up, we're trying to get an interview with Mud Rabbit when she gets a chance here soon in the future. So I have a billion questions for Mud Rabbit, and how she got into some of the topics that she likes to divulge into.
All right. Yeah, Mud Rabbit. Oh man, I learned so much. Yeah, if you click on my link on my name and that sort of thing, it'll take you to my channel, and it's all there, along with my music list, which is mine. So I apologize, but it's got some Santana in there. It's got some Bon Jovi in there. It's got also some Bob Dylan in the very beginning. I liked Bob Dylan's last song that he made, and so I put it there second on my list. Yeah, Mud Rabbit, all the rabbit holes. You got all those damn rabbit holes. But seriously, I want to tell me about the south of France. Was it all faked and they created a family there, or did she already impregnated go there and raise them as a single mother? That's my big question. Was it a one-off line, or were there multiples because he had a happy life after having come back or whatever.
Sneaker Kid,
happened.
you gotta. Sorry, Sneaker Kid, you gotta give us a face or something. Gotta have some idea who we're talking to.
But yeah, that sounds a lot like the big bad wolf, and that would be an explanation. Oh, he explains so many.
You sharing stream? Is this our troll?
Yeah, that's
Skitty.
This is Skitty.
Skitty. Sneaker Kid.
I think it's Skitty. It sounds like Skitty.
I mean, then I know if you're the resident troll, man, I can't let you in. I know what you're trying to do. You're just trying to come on and flip the finger. I know your style.
We'll see somebody else's thread and then.
Yeah, no, he had somebody else on. Yeah, everybody says no, I won't. I appreciate you. You're more than welcome to hang out. You're more than welcome to hang out and enjoy our company. But from your past activity and what you've told me about, man, it's kind of hard to do.
Yeah,
I can't hear you audioly. I can only hear you in the private chat. Your audio is not coming through on mine.
So, Mudrab,
really, this time I'm for real. You already have another stream shared in the background. I saw it when you came in. My man, you're doing me dirty.
You can't let demons into your home.
Oh no, he's not a bad dude. Like I actually like him coming in and hanging out.
Do you remember that movie?
But I know he's up to games though.
Do you remember the movie from the 1980s, 1990s, Lost Boys?
Yeah.
Do you remember the movie?
I definitely remember Lost Boys.
Okay. Do you remember in the very
that alone is gonna make me never let you in. What you just did. Yeah, you can piss off now.
All right. Skitty's got his own game going on there.
Well, no, he's trying to steal people's identity that are in the chat, and I don't like that.
He did that with Tiff. What the hell?
And that's why I told him that he can screw off because I know who he is. Like, if you want to come in with good intentions and just be playful, that's one thing. But when you wanna pose to be somebody else, that's different to me. I don't like that.
Anyway, going back to trolls are a pain in the ass just because they take you off topic. But then again, that's kind of what they want to do.
He doesn't take me off topic. I feel like if anything, he just diverts us for a little bit and gives us a few more views. And if he wants to play games,
go to Mud Rabbit's previous top. There you go. I wasn't confusing it with the mother. The Shroud of Turin was a whole lot. Now that, don't let him in the house. Okay, so sorry, I was getting back to the Lost Boys. Remember the old professor when he wanted to go into the home and the guy wanted to prove that he was, he wanted to prove that he was a vampire, but when he showed him the mirror, his reflection was there. When he brought the garlic around, it didn't affect him. And he says, silly boy, don't ever invite a vampire into your home, because the second that you invite them, you give them that liberty and that ability to do the things that they wish to do.
Hey, Dougie, I'm not gonna let you on now. That's the second time that I asked you not to impersonate other people in the chat. If you just want to be yourself, man, and come on, that's fine. But talk to us in the chat, and I'd be happy to let you on. But you can't impersonate people that we have in our chat. He's in the chat room now. Like I said, man, I thought you were fun and you were encouraging, and I liked the games you were playing. I thought it was entertaining. But at the same time, when you start impersonating other people in the chat, that's a little messed up. I clearly know who you are. You don't know how to use your green screen, so your face always shows through. That's why I always see who you are. It's the same person every time.
Green screen, interesting. And Maria, thank you for joining to my channel. I promise I'll get some stuff up there. I got to do it. And yes, it'll be in English. But for example, I like to maintain it a little bit more organized and less freestyle. And it started off as 5-minute little topics and they ended up being 15 because I can't really be concise about things, 15, 20 minutes. So if you guys ask me a question, I'll make a video answering that. For example, going down Mud Rabbit's rabbit hole of Mary Magdalene. That's the only thing that I'm not going to do on my videos, because even though that's the rabbit hole I've gone down, it's not something necessarily that I want to publish.
Hey, Michael, let me pause it for a second. Hey, Hood Dougie, if you're still listening, come on with your Facebook name. I'll go to your page just to confirm that it's a real name, and then I'll let you on and I'll let you talk, because then I'll have an identity tied to yourself. You came in with a different name every time. Take some accountability, and I'll let you on.
Now, two things here in the chat. Mud Rabbit is rolling up a newspaper because I'm assuming she's going to swat me on the nose. Because
I don't think it's you. I think she's worried about. Spot.
Oh, okay. Definitely, Spot's gonna get a whipping on the nose, definitely. And Maria and Jorge, no problem. You guys are on there. Ask me questions. I'll make videos about it. 15, 20 minutes. I can talk on things for freaking ever. You know about that. And so on those topics you bring up.
And Tiffany, I don't know if you know who Hood Dougie is. But he's the one that decided he was going to impersonate you.
He's Skitty.
Yeah, he's the one that keeps changing his name. And yeah, college is stress, and I get it that it's fun to troll people. I just don't want you knocking our chat. Like I said, you're more than welcome to come in and be yourself, man. We like the charismaticness of it.
That's fine. You just don't have to fuck other people's lives up, because that isn't necessarily what enjoyment is. Life is stress. I mean, holy shit, college. I would love to be back in college.
It's the best time of your life, man. Don't spend it on the internet getting stressed out. I know you're not getting stressed out, but
I get stressed out all the fucking time because there's 10 pages that I should be translating that I'm not doing, because this is a lot more fucking fun. Who says I'm not?
So what did I tell you 2.5 hours ago?
3 hours and 12 minutes ago.
Oh yeah, no, 2.5. We were about a half hour in when I told you, yes, if Penna likes the conversation, he will stay on with us.
I will be here, definitely. And we've gone down some rabbit holes tonight. Definitely. Thank you, Mud Rabbit. And oh my God, absolutely. No, TV is the worst. And that's unfortunately, I got family members that watch Univision and they believe everything that's going on with that. Yeah, Tiffany, stick up for yourself. Take it to him.
Yeah, I know, and that's why if I could have put his face on here to make people feel better. Like, I know he's just a troll, and I'm not trying to give him that kind of attention, because he told me he jumps on. Well, he told me he that's what I'm saying. He opened up so much to me. He told me he likes to jump on the live streams and show his middle finger or flash something bad, and I'm just like, dude, I don't know you. Like, I get your game, but
the whole thing. There's a spirit within him that makes him want to create the chaos and the havoc, and that's the whole fucking point.
We never do daytime broadcasts. That's the problem.
I did, but they're building. See, I sold lots.
Check out some of his old videos. He's got some lives in the garden.
The majority of mine in Portuguese. And Maria, you'll be able to understand the ones in Portuguese because I speak with a Mexican accent. So yeah, they're very understandable. So if you speak Spanish, which you do, you'll understand my videos in Portuguese. And basically what I'm working on is there. I was trying to understand the physical basis of matter. It's something that Jacob's video with Mark touched on very profoundly, because Mark is a real physicist. That's his job. It's only my pastime, hobby. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, but see, kid, I've seen 60-year-old kids to where they're still, and college is with an E. The collage is whenever you put things together. And yeah,
voice to text doesn't always work with me. Give me a break.
Because you try and do the recognize what I'm saying instead of typing it out. Remember, the Sumerians had to actually dig into clay and bake it in order to make it permanent.
We're coming back to hieroglyphics now. Maria, half of her texts are emojis.
That's it. That's how I know that she likes wine and wants beer from everybody else. I mean, how am I not to assume that she likes to drink? And so I apologize for the presuppositions and that sort of thing, but what do I gotta do? You know, you put wine in there.
That's controversial.
Ooh. Okay, now
careful with that name. Careful with that name.
Yeah, watched three of his shows that were on YouTube just this week because big things are going on, and he knows what's going on. Fuck, he knows more than most shit. You listen to that guy, you know what the fuck's going on in devolution and everything else at this particular point. So, yeah, do what Macintosh says, get a crypto wallet, and watch the floor fall out from everybody else. Yeah, they're both from the Iberian Peninsula. When my father came down here, he says, "Well, it sounds like Spanish, but they're using that part of the dictionary that we forgot about and don't use, but they exist in Spanish. We just don't use it." And when here in Brazil, they talk to my dad, for example, "Oh yeah, those words exist, but we don't use them. We use these other words." So it's.
I think Maria's cap lock is stuck.
No, she's pissed because she wants to make sure that we know that she's sober and a good girl.
More like pissed drunk and her cap locks is stuck on. I'm just joking. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I just react sometimes and I don't mean to do that. I apologize.
You're mirroring, man. You're mirroring.
Oh my goodness. Stop playing into it. Stop watching the like to dislike ratio.
That was behave, man, behave. She asked me to ask you to behave.
I try my best.
You've asked me to behave various times, and I've also.
What are we gonna do with you, Jacob?
Hold on. The question, what are we going to do with you, Jacob, would be very problematic because, after all, there's only one answer. It's your fucking channel. Do what you want. It is what it is. We're not going to do anything about you. It's your channel.
But hey, besides my being foolish, if you guys are living a sober lifestyle, dude, awesome. That is one of the biggest drugs that's pushed by the government on a regular basis. It's awesome that you can have that type of self-control. Like, don't take anything I say personally. I'm kind of a jackass, and I'm okay with admitting that. But it's just my sarcasm. I don't try to rub people wrong. I just am the abrasive side of the sponge sometimes.
You're from Illinois. You're close to Chicago.
I don't know if it has anything to do with Chicago. I don't live anywhere near Chicago.
Like that. I mean, the cops in Chicago were worse than New York. You know.
Bears.
The cops in New York were bad.
God damn it, Herman! How are you going to go live on a sleep stream without me? I try my best, Mud Rabbit. I definitely don't filter things very much. I think that's what's fun about it.
Our channel, we don't filter, and that's what somebody else called authentic. because that's what we do. We're not trying to be fake or anything else, but at the same time, Maria, Jorge, you're always welcome, and thank you. And Mud Rabbit, we love you, even though you're sober. I don't know how you can deal with this fucking reality and still be sober, because I have to be stoned just to drive down the street because these people.
Oh no, it's not. Mud Rabbit said Hood Dougie is lurking. No, I don't think it's. Well, he might be in the chat if you're looking at participants. But I just got a notification that that Herman was live, and that was from his page, so it wouldn't have been from that person if that's what you're referring to.
Who is Herman? I don't know.
Herman is a gentleman that I met. That so he had, 25K plus followers on his YouTube channel, and just deleted it and wanted to see if he could get back up there again. And he's an interesting cat. I love the sarcasm. I would say he's a little more on the liberal side politically, but he expresses it well. He understands. He knows his argument. It's not just a.
I used to be.
It's not a repeated. Man. But you know what I'm saying. It's not like a repeated narrative. He actually understands how he feels about something, and that to me is important. Like when I'm talking to somebody.
Like mine. I mean, I know what I mean.
I support anybody that can articulate why they feel the way they feel.
Exactly. Because if you know what you want to know, then fine. That's your path. You follow that. You know, it's the ones that are rowing in circles that are a problem. Because, you know, if you got a car in the middle of traffic that's doing donuts, it's kind of hard for the rest of traffic to go where they need to go. Traffic flows more smoothly on a highway when everybody knows what their destination is.
I was going to say, I appreciate it, everybody. We got 60 plus views tonight.
Holy crap. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Got 6 on the live right now, but 50 plus views tonight. I appreciate it. Or 60 plus views. Sorry. We're at 57 right now, I think.
And 82. Well, no, your subscriber count has gone up too. 82 still. That last time I saw you were 64. Holy crap. You're growing, Jake. You're growing.
I'm trying. I mean, hope this authenticity is doing something in the long run. God damn it.
Yeah, and what were you doing before mine? Because you were doing another video with.
I was on Elaine's live stream.
Yeah.
West Haven.
And what were you guys doing over there?
Just talking about current events. I think she was talking. We were talking about 9/11 a little bit. We talked about, which is a great question to ask you. Where were you at when 9/11 happened?
Coming back from the shop. And I received a phone call from an English student of mine who actually, his father owns an industry. I was giving them both private lessons. He called me up on the phone. He says, "Are you close to a TV?" I said, "No, I'm on the road. It's close to home, but I was on the street." And he goes, "You got to see it. I think somebody just attacked the U.S. Somebody just attacked America."
So where were you at?
I was right around the corner, right down here. I was on my way back home. But that instant resonates in my mind. I know exactly where I was, what the color of the sky was, what time in the morning it was. I mean, if I remember correctly, even what the freaking smell of the trees around me was at that moment.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was impregnated.
And I always give people the comparison because I'm a younger generation. I tell people that was my Kennedy assassination. That was the only thing in my generation that was significant enough that people remembered where they were at that event.
That's the whole thing about Q. We want to stop that shit because that's those badass motherfuckers trying to impose their shit. Because on September 12th, all 4 of our 8 remaining Bill of Rights were stripped and eliminated. And during this last bullshit,
well, I mean, on September 10th, the millions of dollars went missing.
Millions.
So that's a long.
Trillions. Rumsfeld said there were $2.3 trillion the Pentagon.
But hey, everybody knows Andrew Basiago told me Rumsfeld's a nice guy. They didn't want to call him Rummy because it had to do with alcohol. He was such a nice guy. He didn't want the kids.
But we all have to believe Andy because Andy's just such nice fucking folks, right?
Honestly, I love Andrew. I hate his political views, and which is horrible when it's somebody that's running for president. You know what I mean? Like I voted for him. I voted for him in the 2016 elections.
Shit, buddy, you're not gonna like this. Marf's going live right now, but that's not what you're not gonna like because that's normal. He usually comes up on.
You gotta depart from me. I know what's gonna happen.
No, it's not that. What I'm talking about is his main page right now is a hazmat suit.
Don't get dark with me. Don't get dark with me. We're too positive for that.
Marf has been one of my most realistic sources of information and news. He has been on the ball. He told me about this.
Oh no, he's definitely Marfugel's definitely on point. I'm not going to deny that. I just say
his headline
most of the stuff that he's ahead of the game and ahead of the curve with. It's like Alex Jones's old stuff. I don't mind saying his name. It's like his old stuff. He was ahead of the curve on a lot of things, but people didn't understand it until later.
Mark's program last night, he was talking about Yellen is the head of the Treasury Department, right, in the U.S. The U.S. is on track to default on its national debt in October, which is why McIntosh's recommendation.
Why is it going to default on its national debt in October?
Well, because we already overran it 2 months ago, but Congress hasn't expanded our debt ceiling, which means that if we can't get more debt to pay back the debt that we had before, we have to default on some of the debt we have so we can continue paying some of the other debt that we still have to owe. It's financial games and everything else. However, you can usually build that shit up and everybody will accept it until situations like in Argentina where nobody else wanted to buy their debt because, like, why am I going to buy something I know you're not going to pay me fucking back? And at that point, a country like Argentina goes into a depression for 15 years because nobody wants to buy their debt and they have to get by on their own 2 feet. And it's not a comfortable situation. Most Latin American countries will tell you that, and most emerging markets will be able to tell you that. However, Mud Rabbit, you can think of this as one more domino. Yes, the corporation was dissolved, but this is the tangential, physical, the people have to see it situation. And
even if the people see it, will they address it?
They'll accept it. It's not about them addressing it. It's about them accepting the twisted fucking reality.
They've already accepted the reality. The question is, do they notice what they've accepted?
That's the point, for them to reject that shit, because we know that reality isn't beneficial to us. It's a system. And that we will continue to push back on that until the rapture. When the body of Christ is removed, there will be no longer anyone to fight against the system, and the system will be able to take over everyone because, hey, they're already into it anyway. Some will awaken after that, but at that point they will lose their life because the system won't allow that. They unified the Treasury and the Reserve under Trump's reign. Absolutely. But I remember in 2007, September 2007, I read an article in the Economist newspaper, in the Economist journal, magazine. 3 Parisian banks had denied loans to American mortgages. Normal little article, whatever, no big deal. However, I recognized that as a tide shift in reality, because nobody had ever rejected American mortgages. American mortgages were rock fucking solid. It's the most, that and treasury bills was the best fucking investment that you can find. But the French decided.
I don't know if I've ever asked you, what do you think's in Fort Knox?
Nothing. It's empty.
What?
It's empty.
It's empty?
Yeah.
You don't think we have other countries' gold in there? I'm convinced we have other countries' gold. I don't think we have any of our own.
And no, we don't have theirs either. That's why I'm saying Fort Knox was empty. But that was about 2.5 years ago. And now there's probably around $25 quadrillion worth of gold. But that's not for the greedy fucking bankers' hands. That's for any SARA and the GE SARA thing that was mentioned before. That's where the 25 quadrillion will go, and that will go to us. Now some are saying that it's 36 quadrillion. They might have found more since then. That's when a couple of the pillars of the pyramid were taken down and their assets seized. The results of which, that was about a year and a half ago, the results of which will begin to be felt and seen now. Because when I first saw the fall in September of 2007, we didn't feel the Great Recession until September of 2008, because it was that entire year that it took the financial system to unwind and unravel and figure out how fucking far in the hole they were to be able to go, let's show this to the people. Let's not show them all this shit. But they had to figure out the depth of it to figure out what kind of lie they were going to sell to the people. And it took them a year to figure that fucking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But my problem, Mud Rabbit, and I agree with you completely in that comment, is that, yeah, that would be communism divvying up. It's not divvying up the things of the millionaires and the light billionaires. Like, we're not going to take Trump's money and divide it up amongst everybody. It's no big deal. What you're doing is you're taking those big ass motherfuckers that actually have 98% of everything and divvying up. And that's $3 million a person for every human being on the planet. That's how much fucking money is seized. Now, what happens if you have all this money in people's accounts and nobody's producing anymore because nobody's got to go to work? So if you don't go to work, nothing's being made. So you generate inflation. All that money that people have is going to be worthless because it's going to be a lot of money chasing out their small resources. That's economics.
He's not here to defend himself. I got to speak up for Jacob.
And so then we get into the fact that
even he agreed with us.
what do we do after everybody's got everything?
He's live right now.
What are you feeding into the system, Jake?
Yeah, he's right.
So
Get on.
I gotta give you this. Hold on. This is hilarious. So I'm gonna share this at the same time. So you were asking who Sherman the Great was.
Who?
No. Sherman the Great.
Oh, okay.
He just went live, and I wrote a comment into the chat. He's live with April, a Love Productions.
Oh, I saw him on your channel the other day. Yeah, on when Rocco was on.
He's live right now. He's living the dream right now.
Yeah.
Oh, on the show. Yeah, I know both these guys. Herman. Yeah, I've seen him on our show. I remember Herman.
He was still doing his
He's
stream.
funny as shit.
I had left for work.
He's here in the look. He's in the chat. That's hilarious. Jacob, I love you, bro.
She's gonna pee. No, lately I've been the same.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna go pee on the street.
These guys are wild. I appreciate the shout out that they gave me before I even messaged. But yeah, no, I know it's probably getting late your time too. God, it's 11 something my time. 11:02. Oh, it just came on board. Oh, you guys couldn't hear it? I'm sorry, Terry. I didn't know the sound wasn't coming through. I'll have to figure something out later. Or maybe it has a delay to it.
No, I heard it. I was listening to it. But then again, I've got your StreamYard saved, so it might not have gone over to the YouTube. I apologize. I just had to take a,
Oh, no, you're fine.
We've been 3.5 hours. I took a break, and yeah, you were asking my time. It's 1 o'clock here in Brazil right now.
Well, we're 3:40 in. You wanna ask everybody in the chat if they have any more questions, and we can wrap it up here pretty soon.
Be interesting. I like Mud Rabbits put a price freeze. We can't do that. Venezuela and communist countries try and do that all the time. The problem is that economics is what economics is. What you can do is trying to find out those things that, for example, whenever countries go into a recession, they have a tendency of buying used vehicles or that sort of thing. Why? Because the vehicles will hold their value better than what the currency will. And so used cars usually have a tendency to go up, which is why we're seeing used car values in the United States go up 40%. That's where people do to save their currency. It's not immediately liquid, but it's a lot more liquid than gold, for example. You have to go to a bank, get it certified, make sure, maybe to get it back. You have a car, you have something else. If you have tangible assets that can't be added to, for example, you're not buying into the system. You have something tangible. And in this case, Macintosh's recommendation serves very well because there's a limited amount of Bitcoins that can be manufactured. So people have a tendency to, yeah, exactly. After the NES and GES beforehand, try and buy land is what I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. Because everyone's going to be running after the same thing, but still you won't be. But my concern is this.
That's the same conversation I've had with you, Michael, is that I don't think that because somebody is wealthy that they should have to give their money away in a free market. Like that's why I support our free market so much.
But you still have the 17th and 18th century association of wealth. Okay. You don't understand really the difference between us.
My idea of wealth is if the community and the participants that buy these goods and products from this person get wealthy. I don't think it's his obligation to support the people that bought his products.
I defend that completely. That is Smith capitalism. Okay?
Yeah,
that works. That is not the reality under which we live today.
I don't think how drastically rich they are in separation to our own, it makes a difference in the argument. Yes, they made a great financial point. Yeah, because we bought their products.
Crimes that they
the crimes are irrelevant. Did you buy their products or not? Their crimes wouldn't be relevant. The crimes wouldn't be relevant if you didn't buy their products. They might have been deceiving when they were sold.
Somebody who robs a bank, you'll blame somebody that deposited their money in that bank.
A snake salesman sells something to you, and you're mad because he conned you, and not that you fall for the trick.
It's not that simple, Jake. They game the entire system.
Snake salesman.
It goes well beyond our vontade, our will to purchase. When we went off the gold standard, it was problematic. We're going back on to the gold standard. That's a whole nother thing. The currency.
Yeah, we just had to confiscate all the gold from people before we did it.
That's what they're doing now too. They're buying it all up, but now they're buying up all the land. The largest farmland owner is Bill Gates. Why do you think he's buying land? Because that's what's going to maintain its value after currency goes puts. Okay. And why do you think McIntosh is going to be president? Because he's going to be the richest man around that's going to be able to do things.
When he had this conversation with me the other day, he's convinced it's because he's got the money to do it. And
exactly.
he
doesn't
me
want
and
to
he's
bail
like,
out everybody. What the fuck? Why? Because
exactly.
he took out a loan in fiat currency in order to pay for something that's going to be real in future currency. I mean,
and he's told us even on the investments and the money that he's made, he owes other people that he's involved with. It's also an investment for him. He's not solely the one making money on it.
He owes others. It's all connected, but people believe in his idea. That's what a businessman does. You have a business plan and you sell it to your investors. That's what you do. Okay. You want to get a loan from a bank. Well, you invest and you give them a business plan, and they will decide whether or not it's worthwhile to back you or not. It's what I'm going to end up doing for my apartments over here. In fact, one of the things that Junior, my attorney, told me is that with the idea, because it's not just building a building to rent out and make, that would be good in and of itself. But I can get maybe funding from BNDES, which comes from the International Bank. Why? Because it's for sustainable development. Because in this, I'm going to have rainwater, which will be not only recycled, filtered, and purified to where it will actually be drinking water. And I'm also going to have photovoltaics so that I'll be able to make sustainable units along with a greenhouse and the fish tank to where they are actually sustainable units of multiple families. 3 families can live in one arrangement. And this project, if it's successful here, which is what I want to do, we could expand that to other areas and take this exact same project and do it elsewhere as well. And so there are always opportunities. It just depends on how far you're willing to look for them and dig into making them work. But there's not much time left. Monday.
Careful. Topics.
Monday's going to be an interesting day.
We might learn a lot. Pay attention to the not mainstream, and you might learn something.
Oh, the mainstream tells you that ivermectin is horse medicine.
It also is horse medicine, but to confuse it with humans taking horse medicine, I think is
it's always about confusing. That's the thing. They want to confuse people.
Well, I mean, let's use a hypothetical example. So if somebody was going to make like an emergency pass on something, and they wanted to get it pushed forward as like the only solution to this problem, they would have to make sure
there are rules and stipulations for it to be.
Exactly. They would have to make sure that it was the only solution to that problem. Because if there was other solutions, you could find yourself not having that same emergency qualification. So, I mean, that's a great example you can use that why people might have a problem with these things that we've already approved, especially in science. I mean,
why were they approved? Wasn't there an article that basically mentioned Pfizer runs the FDA?
There was articles. I mean, there was a Nobel Prize. There was a few things of why it was approved.
Yeah, and we've also got questions about the validity of the CDC, the FDA, and many of these other.
Well, I mean, I feel like the CDC is always going to be grandfathered into that position, and unless something drastic happens, it doesn't matter if. Let me give another vague example. It doesn't matter.
Are they there? Originally, they were supposed to be there for our benefit.
Michael,
they're there for somebody else's.
Let's give a good public example. If you were to mishandle something like, I don't know, like the AIDS crisis or something, and then you wanted to go on and handle.
You already did.
No, I don't know about that. But I'm using a hypothetical. Let's stop.
How he fucked up AIDS.
If I was to be using a hypothetical with the AIDS epidemic, that happened. I could see the correlation that it would be hard to find somebody that messed up that and then was also able to do a future pandemic. I could see the trouble in that.
Mengele comes to mind. Absolutely perfect for that comparison. Yeah. Well, small doses.
I always tell people it's great for any kind of parasitical problem. They encourage it when any immigrant comes into the U.S. It's on top 5 lists of drugs that are actually pushed by our FDA.
And it will be the cure for the common cold, among other things.
Yeah, I mean,
remember, we never knew what the cure for the common cold was.
Well, it's just like
because there's no money in it.
It's just like vitamin C and vitamin D. It's one of those things that if it was in your body, it wouldn't hurt you to have.
You know, the 80% of the patients that had serious problems and were incubated were vitamin D deficient.
Yeah, and I didn't know if it was correlating to the effects of COVID.
As well as obese. So I don't know if
obesity is a huge factor, and vitamin D is also a huge factor when it comes to the results that they had when people were on the actual ventilators. But the question is, what correlated to getting them those low levels? Were they walking around on those low levels and they were more susceptible, or did
if they're flat and don't get sun, they aren't walking around?
Did the virus affect them and lower those levels? Those are also things that we still don't have the science on because it's too fresh.
No, but I can tell you right now, it's not that it lowered those levels; they were low in those levels. It's both. Who are we going to see?
Well, no, and you won't be. It's a patent issue. It has to do with.
I just mentioned the answer right there. Who?
You can't sue a person for withholding that information if they own that information. We have a
person. It's an organization. Who?
It's not always an organization. It's an individual that usually strikes these motions. Yes, it's an individual in an organization. But don't get me wrong. There's a name that backs them. There's a name that backs them, but I don't necessarily think it's the whole organization coming together to make these decisions.
No, but see, small doctors can't make decisions without the larger systems allowing them to. And so it's that large central system that tells you you can only do this because we only make money off of this. Okay? And that is what's been killing us for decades because they love money. The love of money is the root of all evil. They love money. I mean, nothing has grown more than exactly Mud Rabbit. Thank you very much. Who do you sue? From out there, I'm here. So, yeah, but I need to do it during the day so you guys can see my garden. And I am going to make a video. I've promised it to Jake various times that I do need to make one.
You want to do you want me to set it up next Thursday? We can do a day stream if you have the time.
Yeah, the problem is Thursdays and earlier, it's still...
What about morning? Like
if we can set something up for like a weekend, like a Saturday in the afternoon.
What time do you go to work? What time do you go to work in the morning?
I work from home. So
okay.
It's just
what time do you have to participate?
I don't. So it's just that if I have a lot of stuff to do, it ends up impacting and everything else.
Gotcha.
That's the whole thing. But Saturdays, for example, but you do things, I guess, on Saturdays. But anytime that we do things like 3 o'clock your time, it's still sunup. Now, one of the reasons that I haven't done videos for the last time, because they're building on lot 4. And so there's, the cement mixer and the drills and that sort of stuff that ends up affecting the sound and that sort of stuff, which is why I haven't necessarily filmed at certain times. I can only film like at noon when everybody's at lunch because there's no sound at that point. But yeah, soon it'll get done because they've done the outside of it. They're working on the inside now. And there's all kinds of other stuff. But yeah, I want to do a weekend and just do a run around. Also, I can't necessarily
Yeah,
do.
we
I try
will.
to do.
We'll definitely have to do one soon.
For
So
example, on Jimmy's show, I tried to go into the backyard and I ran out of the Wi-Fi, so it won't necessarily be live. I'll just be running my laptop around and filming the garden so they can see. Now, after that, we can go live upon that video. But yeah, that because there are 3 different spots around the house where I don't have Wi-Fi whenever I'm going into the garden. So it would drop
no,
out.
I saw it. I saw it the first couple times we started hanging out. You walked out to a certain point, and then all of a sudden the video got wild. Yeah. But I wanted to say goodnight to everybody because I am going to try to wrap it up here soon. And if anybody has any,
we're running on 4 hours. That was
in,
more or less my level as well.
Oh yeah, no, I figured, and I know Mr. Peña's got work to do, and if we keep him away from it, I know he won't do these translations.
I'll get them done.
Oh yeah, eventually.
No, I don't sleep. That's what I do.
The last thing I want is a robot taking your job.
Robot already has because I use the AI to do the majority of it. I just
but the robots are sloppy. You gotta be more attentive to the details.
I edit the robot. That's what I do. So
yeah, so we will work on it soon. I know. That was a comment in the chat that I so that's what I have to do. So if I have my chat, I got 3 people in the chat that want to see this video. So I need to start pushing Mr. Peña a little bit more because I know if I put it on his shoulders to make a video, I don't know when it's going to come. So I need to start messaging him every day. And
all right.
Oh yeah, I'm going on Michael McIntosh Bitcoin talk. And you're gonna get one every 5 minutes.
Wallet, and I will get that wallet and put it into my channel as well, so people can.
Bitcoin. No joke. Seriously, do that. It'll make a difference. It'll make a difference in your life.
Yes, it will. Will do. So thank you, everyone. Mud Rabbit, Maria, Tiffany, Elaine, thank you very much. Rocco, thanks for being on. Who else is still on? Yeah, we got Maria, Tiffany, Terry's still on, I believe, and Mud Rabbit. So thank you, everyone. I will be going through this chat again, and there will be videos. Please ask me questions, and I'll make videos on those questions. And if I can make them on a weekend, then yes, definitely I'll do it during the day, and I'll show you guys my garden during the video. So thank you, everyone, and have a good evening. Once again, thank you very much, Jacob.
Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it like always. We'll be back here every Thursday. Keep you guys company. And hopefully we're going to start dabbling into I want our long show to be our Thursdays because I feel like if you got the energy, I'm more than welcome to do them. And
we've done 5+ hours. You know, that's not a problem. Just one last reminder, September 20th, the webinar with Leo and the bunch is reality holding you back.
Oh yeah, there's a chance I might be hosting it. I'm not sure what's going on yet. Leo's going to be reaching out to me here soon, and we're going to figure out some of the coordination to that. So if everybody gets a chance, definitely pop in. You'll get a little of the Peña Perspective. You'll get some of our old guests that we've had on before and new guests that you haven't met. So.
Oh, Peter is from Ireland's got some stuff, and Peter from South Africa also has some.
Oh, Birdhouse just came into the chat. Hey, Birdhouse, we're getting ready to wrap up. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah,
I would have loved to have you on. I appreciate you searching the StreamYards tonight.
All right, thanks much. That's what being live does for you. It gets you lots of new folks. That's
yeah. No, you know Birdhouse. Birdhouse is the ones that we've talked before. It's a Discord. Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
I remember Birdhouse. I definitely remember Birdhouse.
You remember one guest on Birdhouse. Don't do that.
I also remember the various other guests that were also there. But yeah, it was also a good conversation. I'm always up to various conversations.
I feel like the best way to describe it is it's colorful language from one gentleman and good conversation from everyone else.
It was a leftist. It was generally a leftist perspective on things, and I've got no problems with that. I like to.
Oh no! I was cool hearing the other view. I thought the hood passes honestly what threw me off the whole night.
No, they were to me they were somewhat aggravating, but that's okay. That helps us grow.
Yeah, we're learning how to talk to different people at the same time. But yes, good night, Birdhouse. Good night, everybody. Sorry we didn't get a chance to chat. You guys have a good night.
We're on 4 hours now, so thanks much, Jake. I appreciate everything.